Am I live? Where the hell is my channel at? How am I not live? Bro, like, how am I not seeing a live on my channel, but I'm live? Oh, it says unlisted. Why is my live stream unlisted? That shit is dumb as hell, bro. How did I start a live stream unfucking listed, bro? Like, what? That's crazy. I started the live stream unlisted. Nobody's probably about to get notifications. Like, why did they even let me start the live unlisted? That's crazy. I had the live unlisted, bro.
No, we started with nothing in humble beginnings. They wanna fuck with me now cause I'm winning. Chasing this chicken cause I'm on a mission. I'm known for get money and standing on business. Chasing this chicken, I ran up a ticket. Chasing this chicken, I ran up a ticket. Chasing this chicken, I ran up a ticket. Keep that shit coming, they know how we living. Come from the struggle, got lost in the hustle. Straight out the mud, no, I compliment couples. Chasing big bills just to keep this shit subtle. You ain't on my team if you wasn't in the huddle. Chasing this chicken, I ran up a ticket. Chasing this chicken, I ran up a ticket. Chasing this chicken, I ran up a ticket. Keep that shit coming, they know that I'm with it. I fit the description, I'm the definition. I'm what they prescribe like she seen a physician. She wanna ride cause she seen how we getting it. Big ol' booty, she my passenger princess. She like to argue, she don't like to listen. She bougie and toxic, she fine and she picky. Pretty and sedity, she get recognition. Matching nails and toes, man, she always French tip 'em. Parking lot pimpin' when we in the city. Don't ask about twine, she twerk on the engine. She eat the dick in the car cause it's tinted. She pay me attention like she get commission. Pimpin' CEO, so I give her the business. She ride on the dick like she doing some fitness. She make the dick disappear like she magician. She like to swallow, man, she love when I finish. Having motion, man, you know I got plenty. Bitches choosing cause they know that I'm winning. See some thousands, now I'm after some millions. So all my houses come with chandelier ceilings. Pillow talking, man, that shit just ain't in me. Keep it pimpin', I can't do no pretending. Jealous hearted, man, you know I ain't with it. Cuffin' hoes, I can't do no commit. No, we started with nothing in humble beginnings. They wanna fuck with me now cause I'm winning. Chasing this chicken cause I'm on a mission. I'm known for get money and standing on business. Chasing this chicken, I ran up a ticket. Chasing this chicken, I ran up a ticket. Chasing this chicken, I ran up a ticket. Keep that shit coming, they know how we living. Come from the struggle, got lost in the hustle. Straight out the mud, no, I compliment couples. Chasing big bills just to keep this shit subtle. You ain't on my team if you wasn't in the huddle. Chasing this chicken, I ran up a ticket. Chasing this chicken, I ran up a ticket. Chasing this chicken, I ran up a ticket. Keep that shit coming, they know that I'm with it.
I'm a saint, but I sin. I
was
checked in the
muted.
game to win. I left, she loving me again. I let her cry out the bins and they say time heal. Mine still felt like it was yesterday. I was moving fast, probably too fast to even catch the play. Spent the night, she pack a bag, right to me, just getting gas. Coming back, I want it bad. I'ma touch it first, eat it last, it's temporary. Holly damn emotion said it's temporary. My pain deeper than the ocean. Temporary feelings mixed with temporary pleasures. All these temporary moments and these temporary treasures. Temporary circumstances to temporary measures. Temporary friends and even temporary schedules. Temporary smiles and temporary goals. Temporary women sliding on temporary poles. Temporary comments and temporary trolls. I just pray that God bless me. Ain't no temporary souls. I'm a saint, but I sin. I checked in the game to win. I left, she loving me again. I let her cry out the bins and they say time heal. Mine still felt like it was yesterday. I was moving fast, probably too fast to even catch the play. Spent the night, she pack a bag, right to me, just getting gas. Coming back, I want it bad. I'ma touch it first, eat it last, it's temporary. Holly damn emotion said it's temporary. My pain deeper than the ocean.
What we doing tonight, chat? Double tap that screen, shut a live out. What we doing tonight, chat? We got an action-packed episode. Where's the tag?
Welcome to the greatest damn show on YouTube.
There we go.
Welcome to the greatest damn show on YouTube.
Oh, man. Double tap the screen, shut a live out. What we doing tonight, chat? Double tap the screen, shut a live out. What we doing tonight, chat? They saying Trump puts Nato in check. Mamdani keeps winning. Does America belong to a race? And we got the Carmelo Anthony fallout, man. Everyone double tap the screen, shut a live out. We got to get to 100 likes in here off the rip. I'm going to put a poll up. All right. I just put the poll up, man. Action-packed episode, man. Double tap that screen, shut a live out. Yeah, that is a box of cereal right there. Let me get my damn cereal out the way, chat. Double tap the screen, shut a live out, man. We got an action-packed episode. Let's do the rundown, man. We got Christy Noam's husband. He's still out here playing with the fake tits and doing all of that with his lover. It has been revealed that they have been dealing with each other for 9 years. I don't know what's going on with the trad wives. We got a couple miscellaneous clips. Also, I want to know, we have Mehdi Hassan talking about mythical white America is jeopardizing the world. So the question I pose tonight is, does America belong to a race of people? Also, we got President Trump sat down and met with NATO General Mark Rutte at the White House. We're going to talk about Mamdani and Hakeem Jeffries. Also, we got Marco Rubio taking some calls. And we got a Houston rapper, Cartel Bo, and his baby mama having a situation. We're going to break that down, get y'all thoughts and opinions on that as well. Rumors are circulating that Donald Trump may be terminally ill after a report that Eli Lilly and the FDA only let one person, an unidentified 79-year-old man, access a powerful new drug through the FDA's compassionate use program. The program is reserved for people with serious and terminal conditions. So do y'all think that experimental drug went to Donald Trump? Back in April is when they said it happened. Also, Belarus got off all of those radio and service provider systems that were being used by Russia to guide drones into northern Ukraine. We seen Zelensky come out and tell them that they need to remove them or that they will be removed by force. And as of today, they are no longer in use. They're saying President Trump abruptly canceled his plans to sign a major bipartisan housing bill, saying he will not do so until Congress passes the Save America Act, a sweeping election bill that has become the focal point of his second term. Double tap the screen, shut a live out, chat. We're going to get into a couple miscellaneous clips before we get into the news, man. We're going to get into a couple miscellaneous clips before we get into the news. And this is one. I believe this girl right here, they're talking about relationships. and I believe that she's married, and I think her husband cheated on her with her sister. So could you keep your spouse if they cheated on you with your sibling? For better or for worse, for richer or for poor? I believe this woman was cheated on by her husband with her sister.
After finding out your husband had an affair with your sister.
Jerry. No. We're talking about like play sister. Like, oh, that's my sis.
No,
Right?
first of all, where she went wrong was, sis, was when you said, how do you move forward? You move the fuck on. You move the fuck on. It's a wrap after that. Ain't no moving forward. How do you move?
Now, before we dive into the complexity of her question, all right? Before we dive into the complexity of her question, can we get a little therapeutic real quick? Is it possible? Let's not concentrate on who the cheating was with for right now. Hold on.
Okay.
Let me host the show.
Okay, that is a good question. The host is saying, let's remove it being the sister. Could you forgive your spouse for cheating in general? If it wasn't just in general, men and women, could you forgive your spouse if they cheated once? Could you forgive your spouse if they cheated? Not with the sister, just in general.
Is it possible
I seen that too, Tony.
forward with your partner?
Are y'all twins?
Mike, you taking notes?
Yeah, I'm taking notes. Y'all not twins. I don't see it.
You don't see it?
I don't see it.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I think like it's possible to move forward, but I think you move forward with the understanding that this relationship will never be the same. You understand? Like we're gonna grow into a new version of this relationship. A lot of people be feeling like, okay, just because I said I'm sorry or I got counseling or whatever the case may be, that we can hit the ground running. But in her situation specifically, like with my sister, it's over with, gang. It ain't even nothing to talk about.
Now, when we talk, hold on, one question. When we're talking about cheating, you just mean you caught him sending a questionable text. We're not talking about actual all the way cheating.
Complete. The whole effect.
Okay, what was your question?
And do you want to move forward?
I'm not sure.
You're not sure. So this is what I'm going to say. When you find out somebody that you love has dishonored you and has betrayed you, the intention is not to figure out how to move forward with that person because now you're continuing to betray yourself, right? So now what you do is you grieve because you have essentially just lost connection to your spouse and you've lost connection to your sister and you've lost connection to family. So your intention and what you should be focusing on.
Oh, yeah, because the family involved, the family gonna have to pick a side at that point. If your husband or your wife just cheated with your sibling, the family got to pick a side, bro. The family got to pick a side. I'm sorry, y'all involved, man. I'm sorry, y'all got to pick a side.
On. It's just the grieving process, and the only person that matters in that is you. You putting a lot of focus on how you move forward in a relationship, and the only relationship you should be focusing on right now is a relationship with yourself.
Ooh, good point. Clap it up, clap it up, clap it up, clap it up. And I noticed, before we move on to the next question, I noticed a lot of people use the word move forward as it relates to staying in a relationship. But moving forward also means you can take your own journey towards what you really need in life that's safe, that's fulfilling, that's trustworthy, all right? Oftentimes we think a breakup or a divorce, as ugly as it may be, is a step back, when it really is a step forward to your new you, your new path and your new purpose, all right? There are certain, go ahead.
And I just wanted to add that I want to offer that you do get into some type of therapy because you're dealing with the duality of a.
I don't know, man. I just can't be one to champion divorce. Now, I understand what he's saying, new version of you, but a lot of people will take that quote or that statement he just made and apply it to every situation inside of marriage. Apply not just cheating, not infidelity, but they'll take it into the most minute details and try to fit it into their situation. So I'm not going to get on here and champion divorce. I'm just not.
A double deception. Your husband deceived you and your sister.
Hey, Vale said my do-rag is cooked, chat. Donate to the channel so I can get a new do-rag, man. Tony bought me a do-rag, but the YouTube check ain't hit yet. That's on next month's check. So somebody donate for a new do-rag, Vale. I want a velvet one. I don't want a silky one. I'd send money for the velvet joint.
Deceived you. Two people that at some point I'm sure you thought you had a safe space with. So for you moving forward without getting the proper tools of helping you process through that and gaining back a sense of self, you're going to go into new relationships and project deception and a lack of trust on everyone else, which you would have every right to do because of what you came from. But I want to make sure that this situation doesn't deaden your future. I want to make sure that this situation doesn't have you becoming the self-projector of I can't trust anyone, all men are dogs, and I can't trust women.
Yeah, so what do, chat? If that happens, how does the family reunion go? How does Thanksgiving go? How does Christmas go? Are the kids going to be able to play with each other? Would that change all of those relationships in your life? Would you allow your kids to play with their cousins, which is your siblings' kids, after she just fucked your husband? Would you let your kids, which is your siblings' kids, play together after he just fucked your wife? Would y'all do that? Would y'all still let the kids play and shit? I don't know.
Neither. Because this is the duality of double trauma. And I want your healed self to get into a relationship moving forward, not your dysfunctional, trauma, painful self to get into a new relationship.
Mike, I love you. I do. But my biggest concern with everything that just happened here is where your boundaries is at. Because if this was presented to you and you're honestly not sure about where you draw the line between the love you got for yourself and the love you want to give to other people, then I'm scared for you. Because if this is the type of thing that makes you...
See, y'all are saying the kids ain't got nothing to do with it, and you all are right. Y'all are definitely right. But see, me at this point, I don't know, man. I don't know how much I can take. I don't know how much I can take of these people, man. Like, come on, man. Like, shit, now I gotta be friendly with you, let the kids be on play dates and shit. You already done slept with my wife. Yeah, I don't know if I can do it. Y'all might be a little, see, I told y'all, chat, I might be a little fucked up. I'm not perfect. I don't know if I could do it, man. I don't know if I could do it, man. You might only see your cousins at family reunions and Thanksgivings and shit. All of that weekly coming over and hey, man, I don't know, bro.
Still be considering giving a man an opportunity, like where is your line out here? Where is your wall? Where is your protection from the people that will play in your face? If it's not gonna be this, there's so many other things that could hit worse than this. So my biggest thing, like Doc said, when you go on that healing journey, you gotta ask yourself, what is the shit that I am not falling for? Because that's important. If not, these people will eat you alive.
Kitty, you have something?
Out of all the women you could have chose, out of all of the women you could have chose, you decided to choose my sister? Out of all the women you could have went and played with and had sex with and did everything else, you went and chose somebody who was in close proximity to both me and you. That level of betrayal, let me pull it together for a second. What do you have to sacrifice? I'm saying sacrifice, not compromise. What do you have to sacrifice to stay in the place of both familial trauma, familial betrayal, relational trauma, and relational betrayal? There is some part of you that you will have to sacrifice. There's a value that you will have to sacrifice to be able to maintain that marriage. You chose my sister. That says so much about that man's character. What else needs to be said about his character?
All right, chat. So, it's this guy I went to school with, right? And he been going through it right now. You know, he been putting all his business out there, so fuck it. Y'all don't know him. We're gonna talk about him. So he has a wife, right? Him and his wife have been married. Damn, my gimbal died. Hold on, let me get the camera back right. So him and his wife have been married, I believe, for at least a couple years. Maybe a year, maybe 2 years, him and his wife have been married, right? And he just found out recently that his wife slept with his first cousin prior to them getting together. So he's mad. He's mad because nobody told him. They were at the family events, kiki, ha-ha. The wife never told him. The cousin never told him. They just act like everything was cordial. So is that a valid reason for him to be mad? Is that a valid reason for him to be mad? They were at family gatherings. They were talking and shit like nothing had ever happened, only for the husband to find out, oh, y'all done slept together before. You done slept with my first cousin before. I don't know how he found out exactly. Oh, I think how he found out was that they had him and his wife had like a coming out, like, hey, we're gonna work through whatever. Let's just lay it all out on the floor. Anything that you think you need to tell me now. I believe she told him then, like, hey, you know, before I got with you, I did sleep with your first cousin. And that's something that you didn't know. And I think that's how it came out. So does he have the right to be mad? A year, 2 years into the marriage, he just finds out that his wife has slept with his first cousin, but prior to them getting together. And nobody told him.
And then my question is, what was the dynamic of that relationship that you had with my sister to begin with as well? Because my sister is also a part of me. We family. So when you look at me, did you see my sister? When you looked at my sister, did you see me? And you still decided to keep going when you were having sex with her, were you having sex with me as well? All of those things need to be taken into account before you decide to move forward in that marriage. This ain't even the fact that you stepped outside of your vows. You went inside of my own personal family dynamic and made a decision that affected our vows.
Question, just real quick. In that situation, who do y'all feel like is more wrong?
The sister.
The sister.
She'll get cut off too.
Yeah.
They all get cut off.
Your ex-wife got pregnant by your friend. Classified, I would say it's fucked up, but I would say that if you're from a small town, oh, that shit happens all the time. That sounds like some small town shit, Classified. And if you're from a small town, I definitely can understand how that happened.
Can I say this to you real quick? Because I know when you're not in this situation, right, and this is not making excuses for anything, but when you're not in a situation, it's easier for you to see the pathway out. What happens in these traumatic experiences, you are stunned and shocked. You have lost your sense, a lot of times your sense of sanity. You can't even sleep, you can't eat, you're not thinking, processing properly. So to come to the mic and ask that question, I can understand, like, because it's disorienting. Like, we've all been there before where it's like, you're so shocked because in one moment you find out this person that you have committed your life to, everything you got is different than who you thought them to be. Your whole, maybe. But I'm saying there are sometimes you can, Tuesday happen and you find out your husband or your wife is a bad person. You know what I'm saying? Like Monday, good person. Tuesday, bad person. And that shit is hard to swallow because here you are, you've known them for 10 years to be this good, caring, compassionate person, and you just can't fathom.
And that's the thing that I'd say a lot, Chad. A lot of times we wonder why people do certain things to us. Like, how could they do this to us? How could they do that to me? I did X, Y, and Z for them. And that's still a sense of pride and ego. Once you remove the pride and the ego from the situation, you can really evaluate it. Like, what did this person do? Why did this person do this, period? Not why did this person do this to me, but why did this person do this? And you'll get a clear answer. A lot of times it's going to be because shit. They just fucked up person. They're just a fucked up person that did some fucked up shit.
Fathom them doing that act. So I can see why people need that pep talk.
Are there kids involved? Do you guys have children? Yes. Oh my God.
I mean, what she's got to understand and what we got to understand is that where she's at in this grief, because it's grief, and she's at that bargaining phase of grief. So where she is right now in her thing is where everybody in grief is, where they try to bargain themselves out of the situation. She's past the denial. Now she's at the bargaining phase where it's like, well, what can I save from this thing to prevent myself from suffering? So, I mean, I know it might sound wild to a lot of people, but what she's experiencing is totally normal. It's called grief. And now you're at that bargaining phase, but you're...
Right. Me too. Like, a lot of times we pose the wrong questions to ourselves when we say, why would this person do this to me? Or how could they do that to me? When we really need to be saying, how could this person do this at all? And then it'll just start thinking. That'll take the hurt out. That's when you can tell people like, hey, we had a good run. It is what it is. No harm, no foul. Don't wish you the worst. Don't wish you the best. It just is what it is.
Your standards are what's going to fight back. Because your willingness to cling on to your old life, you have an opportunity to start a new life, and it's going to be colder and it's going to be lonelier. But this is when the devil gets to you quicker. So I just want you to stay strong.
And I just want to know, what was the conversation like with your sister? I just want to know.
Hands and feet.
You don't have to tell us. Hands and feet.
It's a lot of people chiming in on your personal situation. You asked the question. So I know if you had enough courage to ask the question to us, you've also asked the question to everybody in your family circle or people around you that you can trust. This is not the time where you inquire to outside sources. This is the time where you get silent and you get still and you have a conversation with the God of your own understanding, because now we know that it's not just about you. We know that there are children involved. And when you are in any type of relationship, you always got to know how.
Now it's kids involved. So not only did he crack her sister, he cracked the kid's auntie. Oh my God. Oh my God. He done cracked the kid's auntie, bro.
How far am I willing to go? And if you don't have that boundary, you will always betray yourself. And every person you get in a relationship, they will betray you too. And the betrayal is not just because the love for you is not present. It's because this is how God teaches you lessons. If you don't learn how to love you, then he's going to continue sending people to you that don't love you either. So this is your opportunity to learn how to love yourself and to learn how to make a very serious and important decision, not just for you, but also for your kids. There's a lot of karma that comes when you allow somebody to betray you. Everybody that follows is going to continue to follow that same footstep. So this.
Okay, how do y'all feel about property damage? Ms. Bones, I see that. How do y'all feel about property damage? Have y'all ever damaged some property because of a relationship before, chat? Y'all ever fucked over somebody's vehicle or their living space? Man, I know some of y'all ratchet, man. Some of y'all cut tires and bust windows and shit. Let me hear about it.
This is your opportunity where you make a choice for yourself and you get silent and you really take intentionality in that stillness.
Yeah.
You said, nah, I'm white. White people might have it the fucking worst. White people like to carve shit in the cars. Now, black people might bust windows out and poke a tire or two, but it's the white people that like to carve shit in the cars. You know, the real deep scratches and shit. Yeah, them most of the time be white folks.
I'll give it up for that. I keep thinking about, like, let's say she does take them back. How does that look going forward? Like, that's my family, right? So family functions, Thanksgiving dinner, December, Christmas. I got to be around, like, constantly reminded of the trauma.
And this how you know it's white folks, dadgummit, is because it always says something like whore. Like now, what black people do you know that will carve whore into somebody's car? Come on, man. Like that's totally the white community right there. When you ride past and you see that big jacked up truck with whore bitch carved on the side of it, you know that no niggas do that, man. You know that no black people do that, man.
I think the best way to heal from trauma and issues of that is to remove yourself from it. But if I take them back and I have to be around my family, like that's my sister, like what am I tell my mama now? You can't invite her because me and my man coming, you understand? So it's like, your mom gonna say, no, that's my baby, I'm gonna invite her. So it's like, how does that look going forward if you do take them back?
You got a cousin faith her.
No. Trill.
Oh, I see y'all in here. What's up, Mod Squad? What's up, Discord? We got Tom Cat. We got Ed, Miss VR. We got Ob in this thing. Big Niche, Classified. What's up, Mod Squad? Is Jason in here? I thought I saw Jason earlier. I ain't see Jason. What's up, Dwayne? What's up, Carlos?
Trill made a really good point. That's why I said to you earlier
Cousin Faye from Soul Food.
Family, fuck my husband.
But at the root of it all, y'all are still.
You said you and your cousin hit the sack. So you slept with your cousin? I'm not gonna lie, that's some Kevin Gates shit. Let's talk about it, Tom Lock Studios. How did you end up sleeping with your cousin? How did you and your cousin end up hitting the sack? It's kind of crazy. And you never saw her again. Oh, I know how that happened then. That's some family reunion shit, man. I've heard those kind of stories, man. I'm from the South, man. You saw your cousin at the family reunion. You probably went somewhere in the woods and cracked her, and she ain't been back to the family reunion. Oh my God. Oh my God.
With this man. This is why at the beginning I offered therapy, right? Get some help, build a village, get support, because this is not, you can walk away from the relationship, but you're not
A funeral? Oh my God.
not walking away from a family
What's up,
dynamic.
Stein?
You do have to co-parent with this man at some point. That is going to take effective tools for you to learn how to do that from a capacity where you're just co-parenting and you're able to do that, do what's healthy for your children. You can cut them off from you, but that's still their father, right? Now your sister, that's your sister. That's your sister. Let me bring it back. That chick, I almost took my dog.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you, Chad. I done cut my siblings off for less. It's all with, man. It's shit forever, man. It's shit forever, bro. It's all with, man. It's all with, bro. I would take that shit to the grave, Chad. I will beef to the grave, bro. I won't like this nigga for some shit like that. My brother on thin ice as it is, nigga. I fuck with him, but just a little bit. Just a little bit. Some shit like this go on, man. It's all with, boy.
Dr. Brian hat off, y'all. She can go where the hell she need to go. But him, you have to learn how to co-parent with this man because fortunately or unfortunately, you've already started a family with him. And I think it's best that you remove yourself like Trill said, but you got to get the effective tools because you have a lot of moving parts, a lot of heavy weight, a lot of stuff that you do not, and I do not want you to have to do on your own.
I don't know who channel this is, but a channel named Mike Hamsel posted it. The channel name that posted this video is Mike Hamsel. I don't know actually who these people are up here.
Because some things you can't.
What's up, Mr.
Some
Finesse?
things you just can't. And this is one I want to say you can't, and you shouldn't have to.
Appreciate it. Thank you for your question. All right, thank you for your question.
All right, chat. We're gonna get into one more miscellaneous clip before we get into the news. Where is it? Cartel Bo just won full custody of his kids, right? So it says, Texas rapper Cartel Bo's baby mother was seen snatching his child from the backseat of his car after he just got full custody of his children from court. He was also seen fighting off a man who he claims was her Uber driver. Both suspects have been arrested for assault. So we're going to get into it. A lot of people are saying Cartel Bo left the baby in the car with the car running. The mom came and snatched the baby out of the car. So a lot of people are saying it's two different sides. People are saying Cartel Bo did the right thing by fighting the Uber driver, yelling for someone to call the police because the baby mama took the car back. The other side is saying that Cartel Bo is wrong and the baby mama should have the kids because he left the child in the car unattended. So we're going to break this down and get both sides. So this is him backing into the store. Did he say lock the door? He's talking to somebody? So obviously it's more than one child back here because one baby's in a car seat like that's a baby. So he's talking to somebody else in the car. I'm assuming it's another child. And he said, I'm going to lock the door. And then he said, lock the doors. So one of the kids is old enough to lock the doors in there. Or it's in a door. Somebody's in there old enough to lock the door that he's talking to. Because what I seen the baby mama snatch out of the car was a damn car seat, like an infant car seat. I know he's not telling the infant to lock the door. Boom. This car pulls up. She's saying that this is an Uber. I don't know if this is an Uber. I don't know if an Uber driver would be disinvolved in a situation like this. But she's saying this is an Uber. The Uber pulls up. Now watch her jump out of the car and snatch the kid. Boom. That's her. She opened the front door. Boom. Unlocked the car. She unlocked the back seat. Boom, she's getting the baby. Unbuckling the baby. Uber driver still parked there with the door open. He comes out the stove. He see what's going on. She running with the baby. All right, I can't play this part. We're going to have to skip through this part. As y'all can see, that's what's going on. That he's tussling with the alleged Uber driver. I can't play the actual altercation though. Hold on. Boom, y'all see? Now he's going to take off running. After he gets done putting paws on the Uber driver, alleged, he's going to take off running, chasing the car and the baby mama. Now, mind you, she jumped out of the car, left the car door open, the passenger door open. The Uber driver is on the floor right here because he got beat the hell up. I want to know how she escaped with the baby. It looked like some tussling going on in the car. Car door open. Oh, he's telling somebody to come beat his baby mama up. He said, call the police, you're going to jail, and now he's yelling at somebody to come whoop his baby mama for trying to take the kids. Or the kid. Get my son out the car. So he got the baby back. Somebody's pulling the baby back. She took the baby back. He said you on camera. Okay, so he walked off. Somebody walked off with the baby. So he got the car seat back too. All right, chat. So I'm finna read some comments. Who's wrong in that situation? Who's wrong in that situation? Double tap the screen, shut a live out. We're gonna get into some of the news here. Who's wrong in that situation? He said, they said he did call the cops. He has custody. He just won custody of the kids. He just won custody of the kids. She showed up, snatched the kid out the car.
Kristi Noem still has a government post.
All right, chat. So this is about Kristi Noem and her husband is still messing with this bimbo and putting on these big fake tits.
And her husband has not backed off of his bizarre antics one bit from the look of it, Victor. He's laughing. I'm glad to make you laugh. You need a couple laughs.
I do.
She's special envoy, we all do, for the Shield of the Americas. And now the Daily Mail, which broke the story about her cross-dressing husband to begin with, Brian, he's still at it. They're reporting he is still at it, that he messaged bimbo dominatrix, that they like this label in this weird fetish field, to the bimbofication fetish. They've been messaging each other. Okay, so they report Brian continued to message a dominatrix after his fetish was revealed by the Daily Mail, according to the bimbo, who is a sex.
So he doubled down. He got put out by Daily Mail, exposed, and instead of turning away from it, He doubled down like, look, woman, I've been dealing with you for 9 years, man. I'm not going nowhere. You thought outing me in front of America, costing my wife her job was going to stop me from putting on these fake tits and messaging you? You crazy as hell.
Ex-worker. She goes by Shy Sotomayor. Wonder if there's any relation. I'm going to guess no. I don't think so.
Crazy.
She allegedly had a 9-year relationship with
9
Brian.
years.
No.
And you mean to tell me 9 years you didn't know your husband was in here putting on these big-ass fake titties, shaking that ass for an OnlyFans model? 9 years. 9 years. A decade. A decade. A decade. Where the fuck was he hiding the big tits? How big was the house for him to be hiding these big-ass tits? Oh, you knew. You knew. Don't give me that. You knew.
Married Christy is right after high school. So obviously while he was married to her. And she claimed on this podcast that he reached out to her just last month. Hold on. Where is that? Yeah, here it is. Let's play it. This is her on a podcast.
You posted to X on June 15th that you, quote, can't keep Brian out of your DMs. How recently has he DM'd you and what is he saying to you?
May 17th. He texted me on iMessage. Oh. He's like, I've been a really bad boy. I'm like, oh, I know. I know you've been a bad boy. And then he started talking to me directly on WhatsApp. And I had a long talk with my husband. And I was just like, you know what? I feel like...
Hit the like button, chat.
Like, this is truly a sick man. I feel like he has a sex addiction. And that's not something I...
Now he's a sick man. It took you 9 years, 4 sets of fake tits, thousands of pictures and video to realize he's a sick man.
I would want to take advantage of. So I was just like, you know what? I'm going to send Brian a message. I sent him a very long message saying, you know, Brian, I thought really hard on this. You obviously are very sick. You need help. If it's not clear by now or after being America's joke, I truly don't know what is. But I've came forward with my story about you. This is just kind of me saying goodbye. If you find another girl who does want to talk to you during this, I'm like, shame on both of you. You need to get better.
Okay. Victor.
That's so bizarre.
When Shy Sotomayor is calling you sick and saying you need help, you've reached rock bottom.
Yeah, I thought, wow, here's somebody's a dominatrix is all of a sudden lecturing about psychological disorders, and her appearance convicts her. But, you know, just a final thought. There is something tragic about this, because I remember Kristi Noem when she was a House member, and she was pretty good. And as a governor, and then all of a sudden, she had altered her appearance. The dress was inappropriate for her job at Homeland Security. Corey was involved. We didn't know about the husband, but I don't know whether it was always there, but it just seemed that it was a tragedy that once she got into national prominence, all of the characteristics that had promoted her and propelled her, good governance, sober behavior, the way she dressed was kind of, you know, attractive but conservative. And then all of a sudden, it was like a glamour tour. And then the personal problem.
That's when they got that 200 million. Isn't she the one that spent 200 million on the ad campaign with all the damn buffaloes and shit? Yeah, 200 million.
Problems with her boyfriend. It just all imploded. It's kind of a moral story about power and celebrity. I'm quoting Barack Obama. Remember, he just said that I'm not interested at the dedication. He said one thing we got to remember is life's not about influence, celebrity, and money. And I'm thinking you're worth $100 million. You work for Netflix. You can't keep out of the cameras. You get $400,000 for a lecture, and you always fly in when no one really needs you.
Hold on. I'm just gonna ask. What the fuck do Obama got to do with Kristi Noem's husband putting on big ass fake tits? The fuck Obama got? Listen, I'm genuinely confused. What the hell does Obama have to do with this? Like, what the hell does Obama have to do with this?
There is something about the celebration of the 250th anniversary of the nation that has these haunting echoes. The world doesn't trust us. It's not Trump. The American people put him in office twice.
Are the racists and the white supremacists of today the same as those who fought to instill racism back then?
J.D. Vance on July 5th, 2025 invoked blood and soil as the basis of American identity. I think Joe Biden is an avatar for the baby boomers. They wouldn't get out of the way.
You're right, in its 250th year.
Joe Biden is an avatar for the baby boomers. I'm not gonna lie, Chad, he might be cooking right there. I never looked at it like that. I never looked at it like Joe Biden is the face card for the baby boomers. I never looked at it like that.
America, USA, is in deep trouble, and I cannot say with certainty that the country will survive. What do you mean by that?
We're going to have to deal with 7+ million people who have voted for Donald Trump over 3 times. What we need to do, and you do this with Zateo, is tell the truth with love, lit by rage.
If you live in the US, you may be conflicted about celebrating its semi-quincentennial anniversary. That's 250 years. On the one hand, it's natural to want to celebrate the country you call home, as do I. But on the other, you might not want the center of those celebrations to be Vanilla Ice dancing with Donald Trump on stage. This is not a unique feeling when it comes to this country's big anniversaries. In fact, from its founding to this day, every half-century celebration in the US has shrouded its divisions, its problems, and its struggles. My next guest wrote a book about those anniversaries and the truth behind their jubilee, which he says brought him to the brink of despair.
Bro, what the fuck Vanilla Ice got to do with the 250th year of America, bro? I'm just gonna say it, bro. Chill out, Vanilla Ice.
America, USA, How Race Shadows the Nation's Anniversaries is the latest book from celebrated public intellectual Eddie Glaude Jr. The distinguished Princeton University professor's book takes readers on a self-examination of this country's history that will change their perception of its 250th anniversary. And he joins me now to talk more about that self-examination. Eddie, good to see you. Long time, my friend.
Yeah, I'm not trying to hear about his book. Not right now. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not trying to hear about his book right now. We'll move into this Andrew Wilson and what was that debate we didn't get to watch last night, chat? That Andrew Wilson and what's the other guy named? The black conservative guy.
Just let me actually answer the question. I'll let you answer.
Yeah.
But I can't really remember them right now because.
All right, chat. Do y'all want to watch this first, or do y'all want to watch Trump talk with the NATO general? Y'all want to watch this Andrew Wilson and Austin Broaden debate, or do y'all want to watch Trump sit down with NATO first? I'm not gonna lie, chat. Let me know. We didn't get to watch this last night. Y'all said Trump. One person said Trump. You want me to draw the boat? All right, we'll see what Trump said with the NATO dude first. Yeah. We had like 3 people say that. And here comes Brandon in here again, bro. Brandon, I think you're a bot, bro. I don't even think you're a real person, dude. I'm not gonna lie, bro. You gotta expand your YouTube, your bag, bro. Like every time you come in here, you make the same fucking statement like 4 or 5 times and then you leave. I think you're a bot, dude. I think you're a bot.
It's a birthday present.
All right.
In Order 31, but also 9 or 10 other countries from the Middle East, from the Indo-Pacific. And they want to hear your lead. You will provide it, I know this. This is what you do in Iran, this is what you do in defense industrial output, on spending, and all of this. You being leader of 3 world.
You talking about, and I don't rebuke it, bro. I done blocked you like 5 times and unblocked you. I done talked to you like 10 times and told you the same shit. You calling me a confused brother and you got a fucking white anime photo on your damn picture. I'm a confused brother, but you're parading around YouTube with a white anime character as your photo. You don't remember me saying that to you?
world. And now we see it with Ukraine, the fact that Ukraine stays strong in the fight, that you still provide all the stuff they need, paid for by European and Canadian allies, fair enough, but very important for them to stay in the fight and all the other things the United States is doing. So I'm really looking forward to that summit. I know that Erdogan, the president of Turkey, looks forward to receiving his good friend Donald J. Trump. But I just wanted to tell this story because, ladies and gentlemen of the American media, this is important. This is your president, but also the leader of the free world, taking the leadership role as is necessary.
Thank you very much, Thank you very much. Any questions, please?
Mr. President, after all this, you've been so transformative vis-a-vis NATO, and I think the Secretary General just stated that. You transformed NATO, the likes which nobody would have even thought that you could have done. After all that, do you still think that European allies, like you told me, treated you badly? And if so, what can they do to make things
Let me turn
better?
this up.
And to you, Secretary Rutte, can you confirm that all the thousands of flights, as you stated today and yesterday on Fox News, are in compliance with NATO treaty, sir?
Well, let me just say, he's been a friend of mine. He's a great guy, great leader, great Secretary General. Everybody respects him. And I appreciate your nice words, but you really have done a good job. And I think if anybody else were in that position, we wouldn't even be meeting today, to be honest with you, because we were let down. We didn't need help on this at all. We demolished them in literally the first week. But it would have been nice if they would have said, we'd like to help. We didn't even need it, but it would have been nice if they said that. They didn't say it. But as Secretary General, and he's the boss of the whole operation, he was, I believe if I would have called him, and I didn't bother doing that because I was doing individual countries just to take the temperature and see how they were doing. But I think if I would have called him, he probably would have found a way to help if we needed it. I feel, would have been a little bit different. But I was disappointed. I was disappointed with Italy. I was disappointed with the UK. He's now gone. And, he had a lot of problems. But we were disappointed with the UK. We were disappointed with Germany and France. We were disappointed with most of them. Spain is a horror show. Spain is terrible, even from your standpoint. I mean, they don't want to pay anything. They think they're in for a free ride. Spain is not a good group. Not a good group at all. But I have great respect for this man. And so we're going to be discussing what took place, and we'll see what happens. Thank you.
Can I answer to your second question? Because I don't have many disagreements with the President of the United States. Here I have slightly, because I do agree there is reason for disappointment, absolutely. But my argument is this. These are isolated cases. When you look at the overall, take for example Germany. From day one, they delivered on their bilateral, these are bilateral commitments, a bit of the techniques of this, but the technology, but these are bilateral commitments these countries are having with the United States. So this is not, strictly speaking, NATO. Bilateral commitments, they all did what they promised to do. And
Chad, we got to get the likes up, man. Everybody hit the like button in here, man. We're nowhere near the like goal. We got to get the likes up.
This led to between 4,000 and 5,000 US planes taking off from Europe. I would argue it would have been very difficult to do Iran without having Europe as a power projection platform for the United States. Delivered again, he's right. There is also reason for disappointment. It is a mixed bag.
Well, the big question is, are they paying the 5%? They agreed 6 months ago when we were together to pay 5%. And for the
What's
most
up,
part, they're
Jose?
not paying
Well, when you look at the numbers, take for example Germany. So we agreed they get a couple of years to get there because you cannot spend it in 1 year because you have an absorption problem. But Germany, for example, Germany is doubling its defense spending between 2021 and 2029. They will spend over 150 billion by 2029, which is staggering, more than the French and the Brits combined even. Take the Dutch, and Poland and the Baltics already there. Countries like Denmark really stepping up. So and the Nordics. So it's a bit of a mixed bag, but most of them are doing it, and the alliance is so much stronger because of this man.
Are the sorties in compliance?
Please, yellow dress.
Thank you, Glenn from GB News. You mentioned that our Prime Minister has got one foot out the door. The new guy's coming in, Andy Burnham. What do you know about him, Mr. President? And what does he need to do to improve the relationship between
Know about who?
the new incoming Prime Minister, Andy Burnham?
Who they got right there? Higgs, Seth, Vance, Trump. Then they got Mark right there. I don't know who the other two guys are on the side of Mark.
I don't know anything. I see that he was, I guess, the mayor of a town. I hear he's extremely liberal, extremely. So that means he probably won't open up the North Sea. You know, I gave Keir Starmer some pretty good advice. I said, open up the North Sea. Go to Aberdeen, which was the hottest city in the whole continent. It was the oil city. It was the oil of Europe.
Hey, that man came in here and said, I gave you a thumbs down. You're obviously racist. He's been in the comments to I love being white. I never said anything to him. What's wrong with these folks? What's wrong with these folks, XX?
And they closed everything. It was terrible. I saw it before my eyes, and I couldn't believe it. The North Sea is loaded. I have had every oil company come to see me. Sir, could you give us access to the UK? We would do anything to drill in the North Sea. And they haven't even found what's there. The amazing thing is they buy their oil from Norway, which gets the oil from the North Sea. Think of it. And they pay a big premium. Norway's got now $2 trillion in the bank, and UK is dying. So they should open up the North Sea. It's an easy one. And a lot of good things are going to happen. It's among the greatest fields in the world. Peter?
President Trump, great night for Democratic
Yeah, after Trump, bro, it's over with, man. We can't keep putting these elders in office, man. Shout out to all the elders. Respect to the elders, man. But y'all got to sit this one out, bro. After Trump, bro, man, listen, man. We got to let the elders, ride it out in the sunset, man. It's all over with, man.
socialist candidates last night. In the New York primaries, they swept and knocked out 2 incumbents. You're from New York. Why do you think it is that now the endorsement of Zohran Mamdani means more than the endorsement of Hakeem Jeffries?
Well, they're going.
Okay, chat. Who do y'all think has more pull in New York City right now? Hakeem Jeffries or Zohran Mamdani? Who runs New York? Hakeem Jeffries or Zohran Mamdani?
Radical left. They're going really. You talk about the Democrat socialists. It's really communist. These people. I watched that woman last night. That's not a socialist. I know socialists. That woman is a communist.
What's up, Amber?
And what they don't say is that I was 16-0 last night. But mine would.
I'm just gonna be honest with y'all. Mamdani is leaps and bounds ahead of Hakeem Jeffries as a speaker for sure. As a speaker, it's not even close. It's not even close. It's not even close, man.
A little more boring, a little more mainstream. They were Republican conservatives, but we were 16-0. And if you look over the last 2.5 years, we're about 347 and just about 0. That's pretty good. But nobody writes that. But he picked 3. They won. They beat a guy named Dan Goldman, who's, a loser. He was one of my prosecutors, one of my many prosecutors that they used on me. Dan Goldman, not a good prosecutor, fortunately, but he's now looking for a job. I was very surprised to see, because he's a pretty liberal guy.
I'm gonna be honest with you. With Jeffries, it's the accent. He kind of rushes his words. He has like a little stutter. It's just not smooth, man. I'm just gonna be honest with you. That has nothing to do with anything outside of his ability to public speak. Like, as a public speaker, Hakeem Jeffries just doesn't have it. I'm gonna be honest. I gotta be brutally honest. As a public speaker, he just doesn't have it. What's up, Southern?
When they go more liberal than Dan Goldman, they're really into Never Never Land.
Does this tell you that the Democratic Party's 2028 nominee will likely be, or could likely be, a Democratic socialist?
Well, it should make it easier for Republicans, because most of the nation is composed of sane people. They don't want to. If you look throughout history, go back thousands of years, you've always had socialism and communism by different names. It's never ever worked. It's not going to work this time either. Okay. Yeah, please. Go ahead.
Thank you very much, sir. As a Turk myself.
Whose phone is it? Don't worry about it.
Not a fire alarm. As a Turk.
It's right. Fire.
As a Turk myself, I can tell you with great confidence that your presence in Ankara is eagerly anticipated. What's your message to your great friend Erdogan and the Turkish people? Because you're going to be there in less
That's a Trump phone.
Yeah, I'm a Turk
Good.
myself.
Good. Well,
And
I like him. He's a friend of mine, and he stayed out of the war. You know, he was a prime candidate to go into the war with.
Okay, do y'all think Israel makes a move on Turkey next? Yes or no, chat? Do y'all think Israel makes a move on Turkey next? Let me know down in the comments.
Iran.
Hit the like button.
Because he's not a big fan of Israel, as you know. And I asked him to stay out. He stayed out. And you know who else was great? Was President Xi of China. He could have come in. He gets half of his oil from that area. You know, I could see him wanting to, and I asked him to please stay out, and he did. We did a good job, but he stayed out. Erdogan's a great leader, very strong person, great military, and I asked him to stay out, and he did, and so did President Xi, and frankly, so did Putin, if you really look. But you could say that Vladimir has some other things to focus on. But they all stayed out. I mean, it was pretty amazing. People were surprised.
tied to that, Mr. President.
And I think that Erdogan is, look, he loves Turkey, right? He's doing a great job. He loves Turkey. I love the U.S., but he loves Turkey, and he's doing a great job. He's a respected man, a respected leader, and he's been a friend of mine. Now, I shouldn't say that, because guys like Peter would say, oh, he likes Erdogan. He likes Erdogan. No, Peter won't. Peter doesn't. Some of the others, let's say. But Erdogan is a strong man, but he's been everything I've ever asked him for, he's done.
You got somebody like Jim Cracks Corn comes in here and says you broke. Jim, donate to the fucking channel since you got it like that, or shut the fuck up. If you ain't gonna donate to the channel, you broke, nigga. Shut the fuck up, man. Put your money where your mouth is, baller.
And tied to that, Mr. President, Mr. Secretary General clearly pointed out that allies want to do defense business with you, and Turkey is definitely one of them.
Absolutely.
They want the F-110 jet engines,
Yeah.
and they want the F-35 fighter jets.
And I'm gonna say this too, Jim. Don't say shit else in here. The next thing you say in here gonna cost something. Next thing you say in here gonna be the last thing you say in here. After that, it's gonna cost something.
Are you going to Turkey with a big gift bag?
I think so, yeah, I think so. Look, he's a member of Nato. Some people don't consider him so, but he really is. He's a strong member of NATO. Yeah, I'm going to probably do something that's going to make him very happy.
And Turkey has
Tell him
a
hello,
huge...
right? Tell him hello. He's a good man.
And Turkey has a huge defense industrial base. 3,000...
And then he gonna come in here and act like I was just playing. Everybody wave good night to Jim. He didn't know how to handle the chat. He doesn't play well with others. We're going to give him a melatonin, lay him down for a quick nap, and his parents will be to pick him up this afternoon. Everybody tell Jim, have a good nap. I told him the next time he says something in this bitch, it was going to cost him. He thought I was playing.
1,000 companies working all over the alliance, also here in the United States. So strong.
Oh, Jason, I haven't sent that shit out. I do have your address, but I haven't sent that shit out, Jason. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I don't do the mail out, so I have to wait till the person that mails the orders out gets around. I mean, this third damn bag I'm sending you, Jason. I got it here for you. I got your address. I just haven't done it, man.
People don't know how big Turkey is in terms of the military. It's a very strong. They have a lot of our equipment. A very strong military because of him.
What are your expectations, sir, about...
This is the thing. Y'all want to tell me to accept people's freedom of speech when the damn platform doesn't even accept people's freedom of speech. Did y'all think that my YouTube channel was some sort of democracy and shit? When I'm the one up here doing a reaction, y'all can talk and shit, but when you come in here personally attacking me, I'm going to get you the fuck up out of here. Just straight up. It is what it is. I don't know what y'all think this shit is, but it's not that.
About this meeting in Ankara, what do you think?
Well, except for the fact that it was being held in Turkey by President Erdogan, I don't think I would have gone to it.
You must come for me.
But I might go for I mean, I wouldn't have gone for, what we went through over the last 2 months with, the various countries. But you're probably right, I would have gone for you. But I would have, I would have not gone for most people, but he called me up. He said, please, I have it in Turkey. You got to be there. The United States has to be there. And so I'm going out of respect to President Erdogan.
What do you want the allies to do more than what they are doing right now? Do you
Just
have
be loyal.
an ask?
I just want their loyalty. We don't need.
This shit is crazy. We can sit up here and talk about all of these world leaders disrespecting each other. We could talk about being disrespected as citizens, but and y'all have no problem. No problem. Motherfuckers can say any, but I get in the comments, I'm reading comments and responding to them, y'all clutch your pearls. You get butt hurt. You're too disrespectful. Okay.
We don't need their money. We don't need anything. We have the most powerful military in the world by far. But I just want loyalty. You know, we're so loyal to them. We're always fighting for them. We have thousands of troops all over Europe. In Germany, we have 50,000 troops. And then you want a little, give us a little nudge, give us a little kiss. We don't want much. And they say, no, we can't do it. We're paying hundreds of millions of dollars for the troops that we have in Germany, the troops that we have in UK, the troops that we have all over Europe. I will say Poland was very good. You know, I endorsed him.
And then you're going to talk about send the blacks back. Send the blacks back where? Send the blacks back where, nigga? Where?
Anyone. By the way, many people that I endorsed outside of the United States won. You know that, right? Do you know we had a big win yesterday with Colombia, a favorite place of Marco. Marco loves Colombia. But no, I endorsed the man who was, you know, the end, and he won. But the same thing in Poland. He was number 10. I endorsed him. I didn't like the man that was the president at all. And I endorsed him. He was a fighter, a big fighter, a good fighter. And I endorsed him. He came from 10th place and he won. And they say it was the biggest upset in Europe in 50 years for a major election. And you know what? He's going to be a great president of Poland. Mr. President, but we have many people, South America. But we just the other day, we endorsed somebody, that El Tigre. They call him El Tigre because he's tough. He's another fighter. I like fighters, I guess. But he won.
Mr. President, you like winners. Do you think President Zelensky is winning right now? He famously.
Well, he's doing pretty well. Look, no matter how you look at it, he's doing pretty well. He's holding his.
You said the way y'all let Dominique Alexander treat the Metcalfs is subhuman. What the fuck I got to do with Dominique Alexander? You know what the fuck I got to do with how he treated the Metcalfs? See, I don't understand y'all sometimes. The way y'all let Dominique Alexander treat the Metcalfs is subhuman. What the fuck was I gonna do about it? I don't give a damn what Dominique Alexander is talking about with the Metcalfs, man. Shit.
Zone, at least. A lot of people dying on both sides. But I think he's doing pretty well. You gotta hand it to him.
Can I ask you?
Look, you have to say he's courageous. He's got great equipment. But he's got great men. He's got fighters.
And can I ask you one other question?
Yeah.
Have you seen the report into the Minad school attacks? And could you tell us?
I have not seen it, no.
Well, why not?
At some point, well, I have to wait for it to be complete. I don't know that they're ever going to solve that problem. I mean, you could ask Pete, but I don't know that they're going to say it was one of our missiles. Pete, I don't know that they're ever going to solve that problem in terms of whose fault was it. Because there were missiles flying all over the place.
So you won't accept
and it's horrible what happened, but there were missiles flying all over the place. And somebody said it was our missile. Well, maybe it wasn't our missile, but I've seen nothing to lead me to believe it was. There were plenty of missiles being flown by other people. What do you think, Pete?
Well, Mr. President, we've taken the investigation very seriously, and when the appropriate time is right, whatever that outcome is, that'll be the time to divulge.
Do you know what?
I mean, if you come up with the right answer, I don't think it's going to be us. I don't think it was us. There were a lot of missiles being fired at that time. Yeah, please.
Mr. President, you just had a colourful lunch on the Senate. In the Senate. Would you be open to a compromise?
Hit the like button, chat.
Provisions of the SAVE Act into a reconciliation bill?
Not really. No, the SAVE Act should be. There's no compromise. It's voter ID. It's proof of citizenship, and it's also the mail-in ballots. We want mail-in ballots for the military if they're.
So Trump's holding the Affordable Housing Act hostage for the Save America Act. Trump is currently holding the Affordable Housing Bill hostage until he gets the Save America Act passed.
Away. We want it for people that are ill or people that are in some form handicapped or have a hard time or people even that are on vacation. I'm open to that. But mail-in ballots, you have to vote because we have a lot of rigged elections.
And would you veto the housing bill?
And then we added in men in women's sports as a no-no. No men in women's sports and no transgender mutilization of our children. These are 99% issues. And we have to do it. We have to protect. Look at what's gone on in Los Angeles and California. The vote still hasn't been counted. What's it, 2 weeks now? It still hasn't been counted. And I don't know Spencer Pratt, but I watched him and he was doing really nicely. All of a sudden he's out. And I said he was going to be out because he was doing well. And then a week later, they started saying, oh, he's starting to lose favor. He's starting to lose. I said, they just rigged the election. And they were going to do that with Steve Hilton. He's a good man. And I asked the U.S. attorney to go look at their votes. And as soon as I did that, they announced that Steve Hilton would be a finalist. So, no, we have rigged elections. Now, in my case, I made it too big to rig. Remember the expression, too big to rig? But we have rigged, and we have to have voter ID. If we don't have voter ID...
Hey, did he just slip up and say we have rigged it? Hey. Oh, my God, bro. Hey, Trump always finds a way to say the quiet part out loud, doesn't he, bro? Hey, this dude Trump is funny, bro.
And I asked the U.S. attorney to go look at their votes. And as soon as I did that, they announced that Steve Hilton would be a finalist. So, no, we have rigged elections. Now, in my case, I made it too big to rig. Remember the expression, too big to rig? But we have rigged it. We have to have voter ID.
But we have rigged it. No, he said what the fuck he said. Remember the expression too big to rig? But we have rigged it. Hey, he said that shit. Oh, my God. Trump is funny, bro. Hey, somebody tell Trump, man, to start cutting this shit to little 10-minute interviews, man. Trump don't need to be up there for a full hour taking questions no more, man. They gotta limit Trump to 10 minutes, man, before he get talking crazy and saying shit like this, man.
And I asked the U.S. attorney to go look at their votes. And as soon as I did that, they announced that Steve Hilton would be a finalist. So, no, we have rigged elections. Now, in my case, I made it too big to rig. Remember the expression, too big to rig? But we have rigged, and we have to have voter ID. If we don't have voter ID and proof of citizenship, but basically it's the Save America Act. Everybody wants it. Everybody is it, including Democrats. 87% of Democrats want it. Not the leaders, because they want to cheat. Their policy is so bad, they're unelectable.
Would you veto the housing bill that you came to your desk, sir? Would you veto it?
About what?
If the housing bill that you didn't sign today that came
No,
to your
I
desk.
said I'm not signing the housing bill. I want to see what happens. We said, look, the housing bill is housing. I made billions of dollars with housing. I know housing better than anybody, maybe anywhere. It's all about the interest rate. Lower the interest rates, you can have all the housing you want. But you have to understand, I don't want to have. I don't.
They say right now houses are priced. Where houses are priced right now, interest rates should be like around 2.5%. For houses to actually move at the prices they are today, interest rates need to be at like 2.5%. Crazy.
I don't want to hurt people that own houses too.
And in that same breath, the markets are pricing in 3 rate hikes by the end of the year. Markets are already pricing in 3 rate hikes by the end of the year.
These people, for the first time in their lives, they have valuable houses. They become rich. I don't want to hurt them either. What you want to do is what good for everyone? Get the interest rates down. We have this numbskull that was the head of the Fed before, and he's a stupid person. And we call him too late because he was too late with the interest rates all the time. We need low interest rates. Low interest rates will solve everything. We'll solve that. Now, despite that, we're doing well with housing. But where we're really doing well is oil is plummeting.
I'm going to be honest with you. A lot of the high-flying markets, especially Austin, for the first time, I believe, since 2009, Austin is actually fair priced. Austin is actually fair priced right now. They're cutting like 84,000, I believe, off home prices is the average savings that you're gonna get. Is like 84,000. So they say out of all of the major cities, Austin is the most fairly priced right now. But if we don't want to get into a situation like Canada, to where home prices are $1 million across the board, something has to happen. It has to be an adjustment. There has to be an adjustment. Somebody's gonna be left holding the bag. Otherwise, we get $1 million homes across the board.
Plummeting and costs are coming down. Affordability, we're doing great. The Democrats gave us a tremendous affordability problem, and we're reducing prices a lot.
A new Prime Minister will be installed in a matter of weeks, 3 or 4 weeks. Would you want to be the first person on his list to visit globally?
No, but I think we're probably of a different persuasion.
What's up, JIDC? Who the hell are you? You changed your name. You got a mind wrench. Is that Ivan? And y'all can't be, when y'all become moderators and shit, y'all can't be changing y'all names, bro. It's crazy.
Very liberal. But, you know, I got along well with Starmer. I disagreed with Starmer. I said, you have two problems, immigration and energy. And crime, too, by the way. Crime. You have a terrible mayor of London, by the way. I don't want to cause any problems, but your mayor of London is grossly incompetent, a bad person, and a horrible representative.
You said, what do you mean housing will crash? Housing needs to crash. The bubble needs to pop now. The longer we kick the can down the road, the worse it's going to be. And I'm just going to say this. Floating the 50-year mortgages like Trump did on months ago, that's not a good sign. 50-year mortgages lead to exactly what I was talking about. Homes priced at $1 million, 1.5 million like Canada. We don't want that. The American dream will be so far fucking out of reach, it's going to be crazy. We don't want that.
Representative for your country. You know that. That's why you're smiling and laughing, and it's true. But you know that. The mayor of London is a horror show. But you have a crime problem. You have an immigration problem.
Think about that. That's a forever home for real. That's a forever home for real. Houses aren't moving right now. The market's really at a standstill. New construction is coming online. This housing act was supposed to free up more houses, convert office spaces into low-income houses, make it to where investment companies can't take the single-family houses. But at the same time, rates are about to go up 3 times this year. The 50-year mortgage is being floated. I'm just going to say it, Chad. That shit's not good, man. That shit's not good at all. These high-flying markets are already... Now, if you live somewhere like middle America, rural, your house prices are probably stable. But in these high-flying cities, shit is way overpriced, and now they're starting to come down. They're starting to come down. When sellers can cut 15% off of home prices, you know that shit's way overpriced. You know it's way. When they can cut 50, the first price cut is fucking 15%. Like, what are we doing here?
Immigration helps cause the crime, by the way. And you have a tremendous energy problem. You're building stupid windmills all over the country, and they don't do the job. You have the greatest oil field in the world, one of them. It's called the North Sea oil. All you have to do is bid it out to Exxon, Chevron, Shell, British Petroleum.
Think about that, a 50-year mortgage. If you get into your first home at 25 years old, you will be fucking 75 before you even thought about paying this house off. Let alone a financial bind or something comes along and you have to stretch out those payments. 25 years old, your house won't be paid off until you're 75. Unless you make extra payments or do some other shit. That's crazy. That's fucking crazy.
They're begging to go there and pay billions of dollars. And because the left is so crazy, they don't want the money. And the country is losing. I mean, your country is going to go bankrupt. Think of it. You have one of these. Now, most countries don't have that. You have the North Sea oil. And you have the best part of it. Think of it. You go to Norway, who doesn't have the best part of it, and you give them, and they have $2 trillion in the bank. You know, they have $2 trillion, maybe more, because the UK pays them all this money and others. But you have one of the greatest fields, and I told this guy 15 times, and he wouldn't do it. I said, you're going to lose your prime ministership, and he did. In fact, I called it about 3.
Yeah, just in my local area, Chad, I can speak to. I know for sure I've seen houses that were originally $25,000, $30,000 houses going for $175K right now. They're putting them on the market for like $175K. Originally, these houses were like $25,000, $30K. 40K was like max that these houses were. They're $175K now, off the, like, not even blinking and want $175K. It's crazy. When you know that this house was built for $30,000.
3 days early, right? Remember I said he was leaving? I wonder if that nudged him out.
Mr. President, would you block a final Iran deal if it included any kind of fees on shipping American
no,
Hell no, you talking about in the early 90s? No, I'm talking about these houses sold for, yeah, they probably was built then, but they've sold recently for $30K. Like these houses were selling prior to 2015, 2016, these houses were selling for 30, 40K. 27K. Cash, you probably get it for 27. This is, I mean, not that long ago, 2015, 2016. Now these houses are $175,000. They slap some paint on there. They put in the little flooring that latches together. They put some damn new numbers out on there. They cut the grass and they put $175,000 on that bitch.
Would be unacceptable to me because we have numerous straits, and if you did that for them, you'd have to do it for other people. You have other straits. I wouldn't allow it there either. Yeah, it would be a game changer.
And have you made progress on munitions building in Europe? That's obviously something.
Yeah, we always make progress. Some of the countries that he represents are as good as him. He's great. They're lucky they have him. They're lucky they have that guy. Behind you.
How do you think that Congress voting to end the war with Iran, even in a non-binding way, impacts your negotiations with Iran?
So we're doing great in our negotiations with Iran. Right in the middle of one of the key things, which we're going to get anyway, we have breaking news. The Senate has voted that they'd like Trump to stop the war.
What's so
Iran
nice?
sees that and they go, what's that all about? Now, you know it's meaningless, right? But I had lunch with them. We had 4 Republican senators and all Democrats. You know, Democrats, they want to lose the war because they're stupid. That's why we call them Democrats, you know? I no longer use the E. I've changed the E into a U. We call them Democrats. They're dumb. Their policy is so bad. That's why they have to. They are opposed to the Save America Act because they don't want voter ID. They don't want proof of citizenship. You know why? Because they have to cheat.
You say how many people his age look like that? How many people his age have makeup artists? I mean, damn. Let's keep it real here.
Their policy is so bad that if they don't cheat, they wouldn't win an election. They're phenomenal cheaters. And they stick together. But you know, the people, the Democrat people, are 87% in favor of the Save America Act. Yeah, please.
Last night, of course, as Peter pointed out, we saw the Mamdani back candidates win in Jeffries and Schumer's backyard. You told me in October that Schumer was gonzo and that Mamdani was the leader of the party. The last night's results affirmed that assessment.
Well, Schumer's lost his way. He's become essentially a Palestinian. I think it's the greatest transformation of a political position I've ever seen. Chuck Schumer, who was a strong supporter of Israel, and he's become 100% Palestinian. In fact, I've asked for a beautiful, beautiful silk outfit to be sent in the Palestinian tradition. I'm going to send it to him as a birthday present. Now, it's the greatest transformation of a political ideology I've ever seen. Chuck Schumer is Jewish, and he was a strong supporter of Israel. Not that strong, because he let the Obama, even though he was opposed to it, he let the JCPOA get through. He could have fought that harder with Barack Hussein Obama. Have you heard of him? So, but Chuck Schumer's a Palestinian now. Sad.
And
Yeah,
do Democrats have a problem on their hands now that, Obama and Mamdani, they're true leaders, neither of them can run for president in 28?
Well, Mamdani was here, as you know, twice. And he's a very nice guy. He's a charming guy, good looking.
He purposely butchered Mamdani's name, bro. That's crazy. We know he did it on purpose. It's crazy.
Looking guy, we talk, but you can't raise
What's up,
taxes
Jack?
on people when you force them to leave your state or your city, and they're leaving and they're going to Florida. Most of them are going down to Palm Beach and Miami. They're just leaving, and they pay 90% of your taxes. And I keep wondering, how are you going to do this? Every day you read about somebody that's leaving for Florida, mostly Florida, and other places, but they're leaving. You can't put estate taxes on that are so high that when a loving father or mother dies and they leave it to their beautiful child, the child is supposed to pay 50% tax. That's on top of federal tax, right? So basically you're leaving him nothing. What you're doing is you could be liberal, you could be anything. It's common sense. You're forcing people to leave, and these are the people that pay the taxes. They pay 90% of the taxes, and they're leaving New York, and they're leaving California too.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. You said yes to the jet engines, but you're a very direct, very straightforward, no-nonsense man, as you're known in Turkey as well. What needs to happen for the F-35?
I'm just gonna be honest, man. New York is it's New York, but it's not the New York of the 2000s and the 90s, man. New York is not the place to be. You don't have to go to New York to get a record deal. You don't have to go to New York for your big break anymore. All of these financiers are using AI and algorithms and shit now, man. It just is what it is, man. It might be fucking over. It might be over.
Life deal to be finalized. What do you need to see?
Why don't you answer that question, JD? I want to give you an easy one.
Okay, thank you, sir.
He's done a great job over there, by the way.
Well, I know that Pete and the entire team are reviewing this right now because there are certain things that we have to certify that have happened in order to comply with American law. The president has asked us to do that. We're running the traps and confirming that's happened. This is really a congressional thing and ensuring that Turkey has complied with American law so they can get the F-35s. And of course, we'll announce that when we have that review complete.
Yeah, we're going to work. Look, hey, he's a man he's a little controversial, but I am too. But I know him. I think he's a very good person. He's helped us a lot. Anytime I've, like as an example, I said, I'd love you to stay out of the war with Iran.
Like how many people, like now the narrative used to be, oh, I'm going to go to New York and get my big break. I'm going to go to LA and get my big break. Nobody says that shit anymore because of the internet. The internet killed going to get your big break from New York or LA. Just being honest.
That's a natural for him, right? He stayed out. I like him. A lot of times when they have a problem with Erdogan, they call me and they say, would you talk to him? They'll call me. They'll say, could you do me a favor and talk to him? You have a question in the back? No, yeah, in the back. I love your questions, but you've asked a lot of them. You're very nice. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Mr. President. Earlier today, you instructed your Department of Justice to do an investigation for oil companies that you said gas prices were not coming down quick enough.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You said, depending on the industry, that is correct. But it's the aura. New York lost its aura. It's not there anymore. I'm just gonna be honest with you, New Yorkers. I fuck with y'all, but New York just doesn't have that aura anymore. It just doesn't.
That's right. You are concerned that there is price gouging going on, taking advantage of the crisis, sir. Can you elaborate on that?
So it's ExxonMobil, it's Chevron, it's Shell, it's BP, it's a lot of them. The gasoline or the oil prices have come down so much, and we are not seeing anything at the pump by comparison to what it should be. We should be, in my opinion, at $2.25 right now at the pump. And we're higher than that. And we are doing a big investigation on it. You know, they're not reducing the prices commensurate with what's happening. Look, we are sending out, think of it.
Yeah, man, they already cut the gas protections. They watering down the gas. We still got higher gas prices, and it's just like, well, I don't know, bro. You just came out here a couple weeks ago and said you ain't give a fuck about the gas prices, so I don't know, bro.
19 million barrels came out yesterday. That is a flood. That's like a gusher. That's an oil gusher. And they should be much lower, the gasoline prices, which really is what people see more than anything else. But
and what's crazy is gas don't even have the same color it used to be. Like, I was getting some gas for my lawnmower the other day, chat, and that shit's not even, you remember gas used to be like a little goldish tint to it. Man, that shit looks clear as hell now. Like, barely a little tint, chat. Like, I mean, like the slightest tint of yellowish whatever, bro. Like, that shit don't even got the same color no more.
You know, for their car. But the gasoline prices
What's up,
should be
Pug
much
Station?
lower at the pump. And the oil companies are possibly gouging. I hope they're not, otherwise they're going to be in big trouble. They're going to be in big trouble. We're not going to play games.
Mr. President, have you spoken to them, sir? You spoken
I
to the oil
have.
executive
Yeah.
today?
I
about
told
this?
them, don't gouge our people.
Mr.
President, there's a report that you're going to present the World Cup at the front by the.
I am. Well, I've been asked to by soccer, by football, by Johnny. Johnny's done a great job. By the way, how hot is this thing?
And the Dutch are doing very well.
How hot is it? You're doing well. We're
Doing
doing
very well.
Maybe we'll play you in the finals. No, but how hot?
Chat, everyone be sure to hit the like button on your way in. I know a lot of you guys forgot to hit the like button. You can double tap your screen. That'll get you caught up with the rest of the chat. We are 25 subscribers away from the next sub goal. And we're really close to 49,000. We're really close to 49,000.
How hot has it been? It's been great. You know, they came to the United States, which isn't a big, as they would say, football, but we can't because it's too confusing. We say soccer, but it's not very big at that. And this is the biggest they've ever had. They've never had anything like it. The numbers are bigger than any other, and there's great spirit. There's tremendous
The Dutch
spirit.
King and Queen.
I think Johnny has done a fantastic job. And yes, he has asked me to hand out the cup.
Mr. President, will the fencing around the reflecting pool be down by July 4th, or is that going to be?
The pool?
Yeah.
It's in great shape. No. Ready? Thugs. They just told me a little while ago, 6 have been arrested, and like 6 or 7 are under investigation. They have pictures and everything else. They went to the bottom, and it's not a paint job. It's very expensive. It's not rubber, but it's like rubber. And they went down with probably a box cutter or a very sharp razor of some kind or knife, and they cut, and then they started ripping it up. You know why? Because they're sick people. And then the side of the pool, right at water level, they took razors and they started cutting this, very expensive stuff. It's incredible stuff. It's beautiful. And it was and it's still beautiful. But we have one area where they cut it. It's still holding. It's not leaking. But they heard it. So in about probably maybe after July 4th or maybe before, I don't know, we'll let a little water out because it's at the edge. They'll cut it, they'll replace it, and it'll be as good as new. But these people should go to jail for a long time. You know, there's a statute that I signed when I had my first term that if you do anything to hurt statues or monuments, fountains in Washington, D.C., or federal fountain, it's actually federal all over the country, but you go to jail for 10 years and there's no shortcuts. In other words, it's not 5 years for good behavior. It's a very tough statute, and so tough that it really hasn't been used very much over the years. But I used it when they had a problem in Washington where they were trying to hurt, the sickos were trying to hurt things. And
all right, Chad, do you agree or disagree with Trump? 10 years flat if you destroy any statue or federal, monument. 10 years flat if you do any damage to federal statues or monuments.
I announced it. As soon as I announced it, read it, announced it, and I said 10 years for anybody, everybody dropped what they had, including ropes. They had ropes. They were tying ropes around Thomas Jefferson's head, Andrew Jackson right up there. They had a rope around his head on that incredible statue. I said, as soon as I invoked it, everybody left. That's still in play. They could go to jail for 10 years. They better be careful. They have a gash on that beautiful pool. It's a reflecting blind. This is the most, very expensive material. Then on top of it, we did a much bigger job than we said we were going to do, because we did all the outer areas and everything. We did a beautiful job. It's like a piece of glass. And for some reason, this disturbed the radical left lunatics. You know, one of the guys, he's a member or a big payer to Act Blue. He's a big Hillary supporter. He's a big supporter of Sleepy Joe Biden. No, this is a very political thing. But as I understand it, 6 are under arrest. This was pure vandalism. It's an amazing thing that we did. Don't forget, it hasn't worked properly since it was built.
You said, when are we going to prosecute the PDFs? Never. They foster a PDF culture here. We just seen how the president's former spiritual advisor was supposed to do all of that time because he pled guilty to messing with that girl that was under the age of 12. And they let him out expeditiously. I believe he served less than 6 months. He served less than 6 months after he admitted to messing with a girl under a teenager. It's crazy. They foster a PDF culture. So never. I'm just going to be honest with you. That shit will never happen.
Because it always leaked in 1922. So it was built in 1922. So that's 100 years more ago. It's never worked properly. I always say it had great potential. And I said in my first term, I'm going to do something. So Biden and Obama, between the two of them, spent over $100 million. It was a disaster. Obama, because of the environment, took the water from the Potomac, and it was horrible. It was bad. I don't want to have to tell you what happened, but it was really bad. You can read about it. Biden, he didn't have any idea what the hell they were doing because he didn't know what anything was happening. But they spent over $100 million.
This is the thing, Amber. I said this country fosters pedophilia. I didn't specifically say Trump could give sentences or do anything. I said this country fosters pedophilia. I gave the example of the spiritual advisor that got released early. That is a clear example of the judicial system fostering pedophilia.
We spent 14 or 15 and a lot less than that because a lot of these people work for the Parks Department anyway, so they're going to work. So I would say a lot less. And we put a great surface on it. This is a world-class surface, and it looked beautiful. But they came in and they cut it, and then they grabbed it and they pulled it up. That's why it's all ripped. And who would even think of that? They're sick people. So I think they're in big trouble.
Mr.
But here's the bottom line. We temporarily patched it, even though we stopped the leak. It's so good that it with all that damage they did, it's not leaking. And it looks really beautiful. I just had pictures taken. It's reflective, it's beautiful, like it did a week ago. And then we're going to let a little water out because you have to let the water out to fix it. We're going to fix it.
Another thing, you got different state laws, and then, of course we have federal law, but you have different state laws. Like in certain states, the max you can get for distribution of child porn is like 5 years. That's the max they can give you. Other places, that carries a life sentence. Why is it such a big discrepancy? Why is in one state the max you can get is 5 years, but in the next state, that carries a life sentence? Distribution of child porn. That is fostering pedophilia. You better know how, if you want to go do some shit, you better know how to move. And a lot of these people fly out. They fly over to these other countries in Europe where the age of consent is as low as 14, 15, 16 years old. They get their rocks off. They know what the fuck is going on.
and then the water goes back in. It won't take long. We may do it before July 4th, or we may do it just after July 4th. Now, we have it a little bit fenced off because we have a big fireworks display, and tonight, I'm making a speech. And people like my speeches, but I guess we're going to have a lot of people over there. But tonight, we're going to have a lot of good entertainment. One of the greatest opera singers in the world. We think he's great. Lee Greenwood's going to be singing our favorite song. And we have a lot of great things, but I think I speak at about 7 o'clock tonight, so that's over at the mall. No, but the water looks great, but we will do the final.
Yeah, y'all know the YouTuber Tommy G. I just seen him post on his wall looking for people in rural West Virginia. So I know I'm predicting that he's about to do a video in rural West Virginia talking about how the max you can get is 5 years for distribution of child porn. That's the only state that I know of where you get that light of a sentence. Other states, it's a life sentence. So I think Tommy G's about to go do a video on that.
Final fix-up, but just remember this. They took razor blades 350 feet. Coming from where he comes, they don't do that. They took, maybe a little bit, they took razor blades and knives, and they cut patches like that, 350 feet long. A lot of them are like a foot, a foot, a foot. They cut the lining. And there's pictures of the guy bending over. I don't know if anybody saw that, but there are pictures of the guy. And you say, who would do that? Maybe it's Trump derangement syndrome. You know, we fixed over 50 fountains and monuments in the city. The city is the safest it's ever been, ever. We have virtually no crime. We're crime-free. When we came here at the beginning, it was a horrible, crime-ridden city. And we have no crime, virtually no crime now. Everything's fixed. We have new grass. We took miles. We took so much. Nobody's ever seen anything like. Everything had graffiti on it. It's all gone. The tents all over the lawns, which were terrible, are all gone. The fences are all gone because nobody goes on the lawns anymore. But we fixed those. You know, grass has a life just like people have a life. And we fixed the lawn, and it will be fixed. Now, one of the other things they did a job, around the reflecting pool, we have a huge field of grass. They poured acid on the grass. The same people, I guess, they poured acid. So that's in the process. It killed, acid kills grass quickly. So that's being fixed. But the reflecting pool is great, and it's going to look beautiful.
You're right, Drip. We do have to look at what's going on with the elections. Also, I believe birthright citizenship should be ruled on by the end of this month, right, chat? Shouldn't they have the Supreme Court ruling on birthright citizenship by the end of this month? Or next month?
It's so sad to see what they did. And then the fake news tries to say, oh, well, it didn't work. Of course it worked. Everything I do works. What I do works. What I do best is build. And we fixed, I think it's 52 fountains. All over the city they're talking about it. But you know the biggest thing is we have one of the safest cities. If you would have come here 2 years ago, you had a good chance of being mugged, although you're a very big guy. They would have mugged him up. They would have beat the hell out of him. He would have said, I'm never going back. Now you can walk with your beautiful wife. You can walk with your friends down to a restaurant. You know, we were losing all our restaurants. Nobody wanted to go out. Even if you got into the restaurant, they'd rob you when you were in. Now, you can't get into a restaurant, but the restaurateurs are opening restaurants all over the city. I'm so proud of it. Also, Memphis, take a look at Memphis. Take a look at in Louisiana. Take a look at what's happened. What we've done in Louisiana with New Orleans is incredible. The Governor Landry, called me. They just had Mardi Gras. He said, it's the safest Mardi Gras we've had in 75 years. It's great. We've done a good job. And you know what? In Chicago, they had many murders over the last week. Many. I could make Chicago, with this group of strong people, that's okay. You know, one thing we got from the Supreme Court, we have merit. So if you have great students, great marks, great scores, great boards, you get into a good college. If you're bad, you don't get into a good college. In other words, it's based on a tough decision for them. But that also applies to the military. We have tough people in the military. And the National Guard has done an incredible job in Washington, and my people have done an incredible job. So if you look at Memphis, crime is down 78%. I have a friend from Memphis, he was going to leave, and he called me, he said, I've never seen anything like this. It's like a different city. And also in New Orleans, it's like people can't believe it. I could do that for Chicago. I'd love to do Chicago because Chicago's potentially a great city, but you're going to lose it. It's got to be done. And you know, we do something much more than they can do because we take people out and bring them back to the country from where they came out of jails, where they're drug lords and drug dealers and people from mental institutions. And I'd love to do it in Los Angeles. And I'd love to do it in New York City. I live in New York. I'd like to see, they had a lot of problems in New York over the last couple of weeks. If we were there, they wouldn't have any of those problems. And we removed the bad people from those cities so they never come back. Now, some liberal people probably don't like the sound of that, but 92% of crime is caused in these cities is caused by 2% of the people. I love that number because it's easily solved. Think of that. 92% of the crime in Washington was caused by 2% of the people. We moved out almost 5,000 career criminals and people from other countries. And Washington now is one of the safest cities, I could say on the planet, but let's just say in the US. And it's beautiful now. The reflecting pool, but we have 52, I think it's much more than that. It's going to soon be more than that. You see them opening up. And my team has done an unbelievable job. Doug Burgum has been great. Department of the Interior and his people. Greg and all, I mean, these people, they're phenomenal. But think of that. You work so hard. You get it open way ahead of July 4th. July 4th was the key. And then somebody's in there with a knife cutting it and ripping the floor out. It's terrible.
Why is he still talking about this floor, bro? Man, what the fuck is Trump talking about, bro? How did he get back to the floor, bro? I'm not gonna lie, bro. I don't know. I don't know. Oh man. Everyone hit the like button. Everyone hit the like button, chat. We're gonna see what Rubio said today.
War in Iran. Did you give reassurances, and what kind of reassurances did you give the Gulf states to say that the U.S. is a reliable partner?
We'll take that as well. There you go. There's your answer. I don't know. So we don't. Here's the. We have existing relationships with these countries that go back many, many decades. We have troop presence in these countries. We have assets in these countries. The security assurances lie in the fact that these. We don't even have to talk about that because they know it's true. They know we've been there with them and they've been there with us. We have people there. We have people on the ground, constantly working with them. We have air defenses embedded with them. We have aircraft in these countries. So I think that I didn't sense any doubts about our security assurances because they're real. They're not promises. They're actual. They exist.
What about the conventional capabilities that Iran is going to be able to retain? Did you make any assurances about a cap on missile or drone capabilities that Iran will have?
We're going to be completely aligned with our partners in the Gulf. That's why we're meeting with all of them tomorrow. That's why I've taken these trips now. And it's the reason why I'm here. Apart from thanking them for the incredible support they gave us throughout this process, we want them to know and we want to reiterate and begin to talk to them and engage them on conversations about every decision that's made with regards to this negotiation. We're not going to do anything that undermines the security of our allies, our long-standing allies in the region. So I think that's something that our partners believe when we say, because we're doing it, and we're going to continue to do it, and we're doing it with them now.
As you said, you're meeting with the GCC tomorrow. Mm-hmm. Do you have any concerns at all that the GCC is planning to meet with Oman and Iran?
Do y'all think Rubio has a chance at presidency? Do y'all think Rubio has a chance at presidency?
And to discuss this new quote-unquote mechanism that the Iranians have floated?
No, I think they'll be against it. I think the whole world will be against any mechanism that charges money to use an international waterway. It's that simple. The president's already said it. That's not going to happen. When we mean open the straits, we mean open the straits free. in international waterways. So we'll express that tomorrow. I am certain that not only will every country in the Gulf region be supportive, probably with the exception of Iran, but all the GCC members will be supportive, but the whole world will be supportive. I know of no country on the planet that supports tolling or a fee for the use of the straits. That's not going to happen. The president has been abundantly clear.
Mr. Secretary, what concerns, if any, did these Gulf allies share with you in private about the deal and about the
Well, you asked me what concerns our allies shared with me in private, and you want me to tell you that well, okay, I understand you're doing your job, but look, these are long-standing relationships with these countries. So we speak very frankly, very openly, very honestly. We get their input. And that's what we're here to do, to get their input. They're our partners. I'm not here to tell them. I'm here to hear as well. And so I thought they were very frank, honest, and important conversations. I think we're very strongly aligned.
The U.S. waived oil sanctions against Iran on Monday. Are you concerned
for 60 days?
Are you concerned that Iran is going to use the extra income from that to fund proxy groups or improve its military capacity?
Look, obviously, anytime you enter into a negotiation, it's a process of give and take. This is a temporary measure. It's for 60 days. And as a result, we expect them to live up to the commitments they made in Switzerland. If they don't live up to those commitments, the president has a lot of options at his disposal, including, I'm not saying he's going to do it, I'm saying including reversing these sanctions. They've made very straight up commitments in Switzerland, and the president has been very clear they need to keep those commitments. If they do, we'll keep forward. If not, the president will have options at his disposal for what to do about it. Let's hope they keep those commitments.
Why have the Americans who have been detained in Iran been released? Have you been pushing for their release, including 2 wrongfully detained Americans?
Yeah, we're always concerned about wrongfully detained Americans everywhere in the world. That's always an issue we'll raise in every forum that becomes available. But I don't want to discuss any specific cases that complicates them. And that's not just true with Iran, that's true in other parts of the world as well. But just know that the issue of wrongfully detained Americans, we have an entire office that's dedicated to that. We raise it in every forum and in every opportunity we get, and we make it our highest priority. And this president, by the way, has a record of getting Americans released that's unparalleled. The number of Americans that we've gotten released from around the world as a result of the efforts of the SPIHA office, as it's called, and of course of the president. So we'll always prioritize wrongfully detained Americans everywhere in the world.
Mr. Secretary, with oil price dropping and diplomacy advancing, is the administration dropping the idea of issuing new waivers for Russian oil?
Potentially. I mean, that's a decision the president will have to make as we get closer to the expiration date. But that was, as I said, that was temporary. That was designed to help stabilize the global market. I'm not going to get ahead of the president on making announcements with regard to what will happen with that waiver once it expires. But obviously that'll be an option he has available to him, because if oil prices are now dropping, I think they opened today lower than they were before the conflict. So if that trend continues, obviously the president will have to take that into account when making that decision.
Israel-Lebanon talks. Israel signaled that it's reluctant to withdraw its forces back 10 kilometers from the buffer zone. Is that something that you would support as these talks go on in Washington? No, Israel withdrawing from some zones in southern Lebanon?
Well, the only reason Israel's in Lebanon is because Hezbollah launches rockets and drones from there. They've made that clear, and the talks continue today. They started yesterday. They'll go on today. They'll go on tomorrow, and that's exactly that they're talking to the Lebanese about with our mediation, and that is our hope that the Lebanese armed forces and the legitimate sovereign Lebanese government will continue to be able to control and secure more and more of their own territory, because that's who needs to control Lebanese territory, not a terrorist group like Hezbollah. So that's the goal. And I think the Israelis have been clear. They don't have any quarrels with the Lebanese people. They don't have any claims on the territory of Lebanon. The reason why they're involved there is because the territory of Lebanon is being used to launch drones and missiles against Israel. But the more of that area the Lebanese armed forces is able to secure, the less of it's in Hezbollah's control, the less Israel will be in Lebanon. But obviously that's the process we're working through right now with these talks. That's at the core of these talks.
Is it your assessment that the Lebanese armed forces today, as it stands, are capable enough, trustworthy enough to actually...
Well, that's what we have to do. Look, we have to build up that capacity. That's been a long-standing challenge. I think the willingness is there. I think we need to help build up that capacity. And one of the issues that's been discussed in these negotiations is about the creation of pilot zones, specific defined areas where the Lebanese armed forces can go in, take control and secure that territory, and then move on to the next pilot zone. So it'll be a process. This is not going to happen overnight. I remind everybody that Israel was conducting operations in southern Lebanon well before this operation happened. And this is something we all want to see resolved for the future of Lebanon. We want to see a Lebanon that's in the control of their legitimate government, where there is no foreign government encroaching on their territory. And I want to reiterate that the Israelis have told us, and that is the only reason why they're there is because Hezbollah is launching against their people. If Hezbollah wasn't launching against them, they wouldn't be there.
So how soon should nuclear inspectors be allowed into Iran?
As soon as possible, and the president said that yesterday. They'll be there when they need to get there, but that needs to happen. That's a commitment they made, and it's one they need to keep.
Sure, the president has continued to threaten to bomb Iran, if it doesn't comply with some of his requirements in his negotiations. Is that sort of, in any way, shape, or form complicating these negotiations?
No. No, what the president has stated is very clear. We expect them to keep they want to get into a negotiation, we'll do a negotiation. If they make commitments at the negotiation, they need to keep them. If they don't keep them, the president has multiple options at his disposal. That includes sanctions and includes other things. So I think the president's been cleared. If we're going to get a deal, it has to be a real deal and it has to be a good deal. If Iran wants to make a good and real deal, the United States is open to that. If they're not, then of course the president has options. We want this to work out. We hope it works out. But if it doesn't, the president knows what his options are, and I'm not,
Here we
that's
go.
all I'll say about it for right now.
Pakistan just announced next phase of Iran talks for next week.
I think the technical group will be back, I believe, on the 29th or the 30th. They've broken up into work groups on various subjects. I believe they're going back to Switzerland, if I'm not mistaken. So, but either way, the technical group will reconvene again on, I believe it's the 30th. Don't exactly quote me, but they've broken up the negotiation into separate work streams on separate topics, and the technical group will return on the 30th next week to continue those talks.
So do you believe that? Do you believe, as some elements of U.S. intelligence have assessed, that Israel is interested in undermining the current MOU?
I don't know what intelligence are you talking about? Where are you getting that from?
Reported.
Well, but it's being reported. I haven't. To be true. I don't know where you're getting that stuff from. We're working on this. The Israelis exactly know what we're working on. All of our partners in the region know what we're working on. Everybody understands what the president's red lines and positions are on this. I don't know what reports you're referencing.
So is it your view that this regime is more reasonable than the one that preceded it? Are they easier to deal with, and are they unified now? Are they providing unified?
Well, I'm not going to comment on their internal structures and whether they're unified or not unified, because it doesn't matter. What matters is what they do or they don't do. They either do the things they claimed and agreed to do, or they don't. And if they do it, then great, we'll keep moving forward. And if they don't, the president's been clear about what's going to happen and what could happen. But let's hope they do. Let's hope they mean it.
Are you going to be involved in the technical talks?
No, the technical talks are at the staff level, experts on nuclear energy as an example, on sanctions and so forth. So the technical level will be, there's individuals from the State Department that will be involved in those talks, along with people from the Department of Energy and so forth. That's what the technical level is.
Can I ask one on Sudan, sir? You were just in the UAE. Did Sudan come up in your discussions with the officials? Were you pushing the UAE to stop its support for the RSF, especially with the?
Well, we've pushed all sides. We had great momentum coming out of Berlin in terms of some agreements that were reached. Now we need to make sure that those are complied with. We continue to engage. Masad Boulos, our special envoy, is engaged on this on a daily basis. Every opportunity we get, we'll raise it again tomorrow because the Saudis will be there as well. So we raise it with all of the parties that are involved or have relationships with the parties on the ground. But we want to see a ceasefire combined with the opening of humanitarian areas so we can get humanitarian relief, and then ultimately we want it to lead to a permanent peace. And we don't want, but our number one priority is to get the fighting to stop and the humanitarian aid to flow, because what we're facing there is a catastrophic humanitarian situation, and it's only going to get worse. And that can't happen. So we've continued to pressure, and I wouldn't even use the term pressure, we've continued to raise this topic with all of the countries, particularly the 3 other countries, or 4 countries we're dealing with, that have influence over the parties on the ground.
Is that what Michael Boulos?
Can you clarify what the role of Michael Boulos was today?
Michael Boulos? Oh, he was there to see, his brother lives here. He was just there to see me and catch up. No.
But there was a working lunch, right? So
there was, but the conversations around him had to do with, he was just here because his brother lives here, and I'm a good friend of Michael, so we had a chance to catch up.
Right, thank you all. Thank you.
All right, Chad, we're going to see what Ted Cruz is talking about.
So I think we had a really great meeting, and we're very proud of the party. We like our leader. We like everybody really in the room. I don't like a few people, but that's okay.
Oh, Chad, we're 25 subscribers away from the next sub goal. Be sure to hit the like button on your way in. We're not going to be on here too much longer. We're gonna see what Ted Cruz is talking about. He's upset that the Ayatollah is getting money, I believe. Should the Ayatollah get money? Should America unfreeze those assets and put that $300 billion reconstruction plan together, man? Let me know what y'all think.
Okay, I think you know who they are, but I'll give you that information someday. But for the most part, we have a really well unified party.
Just a few people, it'll be in his memoirs. Here to give us his memoirs, the lowdown is Texas Senator Ted Cruz. You know, Senator Cruz, so first of all, I'm glad he didn't sign the Liz Warren housing bill. It was a lousy bill. The country, everyone in the country wants voter ID, a real voter ID to stop that corruption. They want middle-class tax cuts. They want an end to all this corrupt spending and waste, fraud, and abuse. So having said that, how was lunch today, Senator Cruz?
Well, look, lots of aspects of it were really good. The president and most of the members of the Senate all agreed that we should be unified, that Republican senators should be standing hand in hand with the president, that we should be on the same team fighting for the same priorities. I agree with you. The Save America Act is critically needed. I'm an original sponsor of it. I've been fighting for it. I've been urging my colleagues that we ought to force the Democrats to do a talking filibuster, to stand and talk and talk and talk, just like Jimmy Stewart and Mr. Smith Goes to Washington, not simply let them register their objection, but force them to keep talking and wear them down. I will say not all my colleagues are persuaded, and there are a handful of Republicans who are resisting doing that, and I think the president is really frustrated with that. There was also, I think, quite a bit of discussion about Iran, and the president was frustrated by the vote on the floor of the Senate to the War Powers Resolution vote to remove his authority to conduct military operations in Iran. I voted no on that. I think that was a terrible idea. That's Tim Kaine and the Democrats trying to tie the president's hands on Iran. I believe the president's military action against Iran is the single most consequential decision he has made this second term, and it's made America a lot safer. I'm glad he launched that military attack. It was the right thing to do, and it massively degraded their military.
Good for you, Senator. You're a patriot. I just want to chime in. I don't mean to interrupt you. You and I are old pals, but good for you. It ain't perfect. It never is. And it's not an official document anyway, the real negotiations. If they don't play ball, you know he'll stop all the money and he'll go back to kinetic bombing. You know that. It's Donald Trump, for heaven's sakes. You know that. But anyway, good for you, sir.
Well, look, to be clear, I think the military operation was the right thing to do. I have real concerns about the MOU, and I think history has demonstrated that giving billions of dollars to theocratic lunatics who want to murder us is a very bad idea.
But it's not it's not in it. I mean,
Larry, it most certainly is. The MOU explicitly says the United States, in cooperation with regional allies, shall raise and provide $300 billion for the regime in Iran.
If the deal
$300
goes
billion.
through.
No, it does not say if the deal goes through.
Right.
Also, the MOU also provides that the sanction relief is at the front end before Iran has agreed to anything on nuclear weapons, and we're seeing that sanction relief going into effect right now. We're seeing billions of dollars on the front end, and when the Ayatollah chants death to America, I believe him. I think President Trump has been extraordinary standing up to the Ayatollah, and I think right now he is getting very poor advice. I don't want to see the Ayatollah get one penny, and I think it's a mistake to send billions of dollars to the Ayatollah.
Well, I don't want to waste the segment on this, but I would merely say that the stuff in the MOU is not binding, and all of it is in the context that the entire deal must be completed. And by the way, they're talking about $500 million, Senator Cruz, to Iran for humanitarian purposes that'll be run by the Treasury Department in a central bank channel with the Central Bank of Qatar, and we will control how and where that money goes. So I'm just saying, you know, it's the MOU is just a political document of talking points. That's all it is. I don't believe Mr. Trump will give money.
It's being implemented at the front end, Larry. We're seeing the sanctions being lifted right now. Before Iran has agreed to anything on nuclear weapons, sanction relief is happening on the front end, and I think those advising the president are not giving him good advice.
It is. All right, we'll move on. I'm going to say it's an escrow account run by the Treasury. But please, the other point, more important, your patriotism in supporting the action. And, Senator, let me ask you this. We're coming out, the gas prices are coming down, energy prices are coming down. The economy looks pretty good, okay? And the one big, beautiful bill, which you pushed hard for, and all the tax cuts and so forth. But my question to you is there room for another big, beautiful bill of some kind? Reconciliation would be, I guess. You get your Real Voting Rights Act in there. We've got all this waste, fraud, and corruption and stealing from all these Medicaid and other entitlement programs. That would be very popular. Then you have middle-class tax relief, and we should have done something on housing for middle-class tax relief. There's still time for that. And some military appropriation. Is it possible, Senator Cruz, from today's lunch, but, your general sense, can there be a large budget package that shows the GOP is for freedom?
Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Lord of the Drip comes through with the big 20 gifted memberships. Thank you, Drip, for the 20 gifted memberships, man. You always show up and support, man. OG to the channel. For real, for real. Thank you, Drip, for always showing up and supporting the channel, man. I damn sure thank you for that, Drip.
And free enterprise and growth, whereas the Democrats are for hatred and anti-Semitism and socialism and, state-run communism.
Look, amen, hallelujah. As usual, Larry, you and I.
Oh, everyone be sure to show Drip some love for supporting the channel with the memberships. And if you received a membership, be sure to give Drip some love personally, man.
I are on the same page. As you know, we just passed a reconciliation bill that funded ICE and Customs and Border Patrol. I argued vociferously that instead of a narrow bill that just funded immigration enforcement, we should do another big, beautiful bill that included real tax cuts, that included, you want to impact housing? The single biggest thing we could do to make housing more affordable is to index.
You said, how do you get the membership? You clicked it and nothing happened? I think it's different on iPhone and Android. Mods, walk him through how to get the membership. You gotta buy it. YouTube just picks the 20 random people. The 20 gifted Drip just dropped. YouTube picks those people randomly.
Capital gains for inflation. I made that case to my colleagues. Unfortunately, my colleagues did not agree with that argument. I'm still making that case. I'm making that case to the president. That would have much more impact on making housing affordable, to index capital gains for inflation, which means that American homeowners are not penalized for the years of Biden inflation that made everything more expensive.
100%, 1,000%. I can't believe anyone disagree with that. If you have an empty nester, owns a house for 40 years, they're paying for all this inflation anyway, and they might be faced with a $5,000, $500,000, $600,000 capital gains tax? That's crazy. Take them out of it.
You're absolutely right. And since this show is a little wonky, let's explain.
Yeah, the next clip I'm gonna play is one that Drip sent me in the Discord before as well, about the mail-in ballots being delivered and who has the power to stop the delivery, if that's possible. I'm not really familiar with that, so we'll watch that before we get up out of here. I see Strong Flower says, call all 3 of your U.S. congressmen this week. What do you suggest they say? What do you suggest they say, Strong Flower? Call the congressman and say what, in your opinion?
So the tax nerds at Treasury, they come back and say, well, no.
Oh, shit. Drip just dropped another 20 gifted in here, man. Come on, chat. Drip is in his bag right now, man, and I needed it, Drip, man. It's late in the month, man. I ain't really got too much going on. Hey, Drip, I thank you more than you know, Drip. I thank you more than you know, Drip. If you received a membership from Drip, be sure to give him a personal thanks. And everybody show Drip some love for supporting the channel with 40 gifted on tonight, man. A big 40 gifted on the night.
If we do that, look at all this tax we're giving up. You know what happens when someone has a big capital gains tax bill due on their home? You know what they end up doing? They don't sell it. They just live in it. And even if they're retired, they don't have any kids at home, they may have 4 or 5 bedrooms that just sit empty. Why do they hold on to it? Because when they die, they pass it on to their heirs with a stepped-up basis. So they never pay that capital gains tax, but it keeps the house out of circulation.
Right.
It means a young family with little kids don't get to move in there.
Come on, Drip. You showing out now, Drip. I'm about to get the yelling in here, Drip. Another 20 gifted, bro. 60 gifted in here tonight, Drip. Chill out, Drip. Chill out, man. If you received the membership from Drip, please tell him thank you, and everybody else tell him thank you for supporting the channel. Drip, a big 60, Drip, man. Come on, Drip. You know I get emotional in here, man. Don't do that to me right now, Drip. I get emotional in here, man.
And so it is
It's a lock-in
Washington. It is Washington bureaucrats counting money that they never get, but that hurts American consumers.
It'll make money. You'll get revenues. You'll get
Damn.
more housing on the market. You'll get lower prices on the market. The interest rates are going to come down on their own with the energy story. You're a free market guy. You're a supply side guy. I mean, there's a few of you still left.
Yes.
You got to. Is there any way to drive this car into the right spot? GOP's got to have. You've got this Mamdani socialism, anti-Semitism, hate cops, open borders. The GOP, now's the time.
Excuse me, chat. Yeah, Drip, thank you again. Damn, Drip, thank you again. Damn. I want to call somebody and tell them about this shit, Drip. Another 20, Drip. Chill out, bro. Oh, my God, bro. Chill out, Drip. Another 20 gifted, bro. Ain't no way. Chat. Give 80, 80, what? 80 gifted, bruh. 80 gifted in here, chat. Oh my God. Drip, I thank you. Everyone that has received a membership, which is damn near the whole chat, please give Drip a thanks. And everybody else tell Drip thank you, man. Damn, Drip. I needed that shit, boy. Damn, I want to call somebody. I forgot what I was even finna say. Oh, I went on the Handsome Liberals channel earlier, and his topic of conversation was, can America unite under Trump? And I told him no, unfortunately, unless it's a false flag. Unless it's a false flag, I do not see America uniting under Trump. We have a lot of things being socially constructed with the race issues, the class issues, the generational issues, affordability crisis, the Epstein files, America First, MAGA. There's just so much division right now that in these next 2 years, I do not see it possible for Trump to unite America with anything short of a false flag or something happening here. That's just my opinion. Everyone double tap the screen, share the live out, man. Damn, Drip. Let's get into this about the voter ballots, though. Let's get into this about the voter ballots, man. I gotta see what's going on. I'm not caught up on this. I gotta catch
Senator
up.
Blumenthal.
Mr. Chairman, I didn't want to interrupt your
Oh shit! I took my
eloquent
headphones
closing
out. I
by
got the yelling for
making
real.
my
I took the
entrance
headphones out.
before now. Let me ask you first a question which I think applies generally to your performance in the job. Will you commit that when we have specific questions about post offices?
100 gifted, bro. 100 gifted, chat. I'm about to throw something in here, man. 100 gifted, bro. 100 gifted, man. I'm just gonna be honest with you, chat. I don't even think the big creators getting 100 gifted like that. Drip, thank you, Drip. Everyone that received the membership, tell Drip thank you, and everybody else, give Drip a big congratulations. 100 gifted, bruh. 100 gifted, bruh. Drip. I'm not gonna lie, Drip. Damn, bro. Damn. I'm gonna have to sit with this shit, Drip. You took me too fast, bruh. You took me too fast. And Drip's been here since day one. Drip has been here rocking out on the channel for over 2 years, man. Thank you, Drip, man. Damn.
It's about Postal Service in Connecticut or elsewhere that you will respond within a timely period.
Damn.
Absolutely, and I hope we've been doing that.
And I know you've probably been asked about that in the past.
Thanks, Gito.
I want to ask you about the recent executive order. I'm sure you've been asked about it so far, and I apologize. I've been in a Judiciary Committee meeting. But the United States Postal Service is not an election administration agency, is it?
No, absolutely not.
And you have no constitutional authority to review ballots or deny postal service to someone mailing in a ballot, do you?
I don't remember my constitutional law class that well, so I would have to defer that to lawyers.
Well, I think you know enough constitutional law to answer this question. The United States Postal Service has no role whatsoever in reviewing balloting or mail-in ballots under current law, does it?
He deferred the question. He's dodging the question.
I'm not trying to be obtuse here, but reviewing, I'm not sure what you mean by reviewing.
Well, the President's executive order says that the Postal Service should somehow review voter lists and then refuse to.
Amber, you talking about there's more than $100, man. Listen, Drip just dropped a fucking check in here. I'm just gonna be honest with you. Drip just dropped a fucking check in here. Yeah, yes. Well over 100. Thank you, Drip. Damn. That shit just helped me out, Drip. That shit just helped me out a lot. Damn. Damn, Drip. I really appreciate it, man. The more and more I think about it, Drip, thank you. Damn. I didn't even get to stream that much this month either. And Drip, damn, I took 2 weeks off and thank you, Drip. Damn.
Deliver mail, in effect.
No, we don't review the voter list. So the voter list for us is like a manifest, right? And so the state gives us the list of voters that they want ballots to go to, and then they give us the ballots. We match the ballots with the list, and we can tell the state, yes, all the ballots that you say are going to the right people are going, or no, different ballots are going, or maybe you missed some ballots. You know, it's what I said earlier. It really is trying to help the state make sure that the ballots that they send to the voters actually get there and
What's
get to
up,
those
Lala?
voters. And so it's.
Damn, I ain't seen you all night, Lala. You all right? You got the plane lays out and shit. Hell, Drip done dropped 100 membership. We having a barbecue. Lala, pass out the plane lays and shit. Carlos, we might even let Carlos on the grill tonight, y'all. I told Carlos he could never grill over. We might let Carlos on the damn grill tonight, man. Damn.
It's strictly a manifest for us to make sure that the right ballots are going to the right people.
And do you have authority to deny delivery of ballots?
Not under the current rules. Our proposed rules would say that if we don't have that.
Okay, so here's the direct answer. I'm gonna pull it back. So because this is very important. This is something Drip sent me personally. This is very important. He's asking him directly. This is something, if this goes through, this will set precedent for every election moving forward. Can they make the United States Postal Service deny delivery of mail-in ballots, specifically to states who don't want to comply with the administration and give up, I don't know, what do they want, the voter rolls and some more shit. So they're saying if they don't comply, the United States Postal Service will not be delivering mail-in ballots. And this is what Blumenthal is asking this man, and he's going to answer directly.
Make sure that the ballots that they send to the voters actually get there and get to those voters. And so it's strictly a manifest for us to make sure that the right ballots are going to the right people.
And do you have authority to deny delivery of ballots?
Not under the current rules. Our proposed rules would say that if we don't have that manifest, that we can't move the mail.
But you're not going to deliver.
Our proposed rules will say if we don't have the manifest, we won't deliver the ballots. That's the voter rolls. If they don't comply and turn over I think it's some more shit other than the voter rolls, but if they don't comply and turn that shit over, it won't be anything out for delivery. That's the wording. That's the new rule that they're trying to implement. Listen to the wordplay. They're trying to talk over our heads here. This is the kind of shit that goes on. They try to talk around us and over us.
We don't have that manifest, that we can't move the mail.
But you're not going to refuse to deliver ballots to a voter that the states say is registered.
Yeah, absolutely not.
And you're not going to review the legitimacy of whether someone is properly registered.
No, not our function. We deliver mail.
And what if states say to you, we would just as soon you not do that kind of review?
Do the manifest and the ballots?
Correct.
Under the proposed rule, we would then not deliver that mail.
Well, you would refuse to deliver mail if states would prefer that you not do the matching?
Yeah, if they don't comply with a valid rule, again, as you know, the rules, they're proposed rules, they're not final rules. We have a comment period that we're looking at, but under the proposed rules, that would be correct.
You agree with the proposed rule?
I think what I think is that we need to be efficient and accurate in moving ballots. When you look at what we've suggested to states now for years and years and years and years, it is exactly this rule. If you look at it, whether it's Connecticut, Michigan, California, we have something we call Kit 600, and we have a lot of people that educate your folks in the state as to how to do it. The Kit 600 recommends unique barcodes, unique envelope.
Well,
so
if
this is not
the
something
state
we
of
have been doing
Connecticut says
for
to
years.
you, we want you to deliver mail-in ballots without conducting your purported, supposed, so-called review, which is unconstitutional, you will deliver the mail to Connecticut voters. Is that correct?
I'm confused. Under the proposed rule or under current rules?
Under the Constitution of the United States, you have an obligation. You run the postal service. You deliver the mail.
We deliver
you don't
the mail.
review ballots or registration.
Wouldn't this fall under no taxation without representation, though? Wouldn't this fall under that? Somebody enlighten me. Somebody give me a little more. Wouldn't this fall under, if they can't vote because their state doesn't turn over the voter rolls, wouldn't they have a civil case at that point?
Will deliver the mail to Connecticut voters. Is that correct?
I'm confused. Under the proposed rule or under current rules?
Under the Constitution of the United States, you have an obligation. You run the postal service. You deliver the mail.
We deliver
you don't
the mail.
review ballots or registration. Nobody said you should. The founding fathers didn't envision that kind of review. This proposed rule is bogus, and I want your commitment that you will deliver the mail, including mail-in ballots, to Connecticut voters without conducting this bogus sham review.
Yeah, look, we'll deliver every piece of mail that meets our then current regulations.
Well,
while he's actively talking about a new proposed rule to change the regulations. Oh, shit. Oh, shit, bro. I told you guys that they were going to try several different ways to fix the elections. We're seeing one of them in real time. I ain't even going to say to fix it, but to sway the elections. We're seeing one of them go down right here, right now. This shit is beyond me. My camera's about to die.
Can't move the mail.
But you're not going to deliver, you're not going to refuse to deliver ballots to a voter that the states say is registered.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, like, I live in a red state. I've only lived in red states, so this wouldn't affect my situation or my state, but I can only imagine, like, an entire state not getting their mail-in ballots because somebody's gonna bite the bone. Y'all know America. Y'all know the current state of America. One of these governors, if not multiple of these governors, is gonna bite the bone and not give over those fucking voter rolls. And that's gonna put USPS on the clock. And if they don't deliver these mail-in ballots, elections as we know it have changed. Shit's gonna be different. Somebody's gonna bite the fucking bone. Whether it's a Newsom, whether it's a Pritzker, somebody's gonna bite the bone.
Not.
And you're not going to review the legitimacy of whether someone is properly registered.
No, not our function. We deliver mail.
And what if states say to you, we would just as soon...
What's that lady over Washington, Oregon? Doesn't Oregon have the female governor? She'll probably buck it too. California, Illinois, and Oregon for sure will probably buck it and say, hey, do something. And shit might change.
You not do that kind of review.
Do the manifest and the ballots?
Correct.
Under the proposed rule, we would then not deliver that mail.
Well, you would refuse to deliver mail if states would prefer that you not do the matching?
Yeah, if they don't comply with a valid rule, again, as you know, the rules, they're proposed rules, they're not final rules. We have a comment period that we're looking at, but under the proposed rules, that would be correct.
You agree with the proposed rule?
I think, what I think is that we need to be efficient and accurate in moving ballots. When you look at what we've suggested to states now for years and years and years and years, it is exactly this rule. If you look at it, whether it's Connecticut, Michigan, California, we have something we call Kit 600, and we have a lot of people that educate your folks in the state as to how to do it.
This is the same shit. This is shaping up to be the same shit that goes on in these other so-called democracies, where, oh yeah, it's an election, but 100% of the people voted for Chi. Oh yeah, it's an election, but you have damn military soldiers coming inside the voter booth and checking to see your vote and shit. And now, why the fuck am I having an excellent live stream and I'm getting messages about some bullshit going on in the Discord? Why are we having a great live stream over here and I'm getting some messages because of some bullshit going on? Thank you for letting me know it's some bullshit going on in the Discord. But why is it some bullshit going on in the Discord? Why is that?
Kit 600 recommends unique barcodes, unique envelope.
Well,
so
if,
this is not
if the
something
state
we
of
haven't been doing
Connecticut says
for
to
years.
you, we want you to deliver mail-in ballots without conducting your purported, supposed, so-called review, which is unconstitutional, you will deliver the mail to Connecticut voters. Is that correct?
Thanks,
I'm confused. Under the proposed rule or under current rules?
Under the Constitution of the United States, you have an obligation. You run the Postal Service. You deliver the mail.
We
You
deliver the
don't
mail.
review ballots or registration. Nobody said you should. The Founding Fathers didn't envision that kind of review. This proposed rule is bogus, and I want your commitment that you will deliver the mail, including mail-in ballots, to Connecticut voters without conducting this bogus sham review.
Yeah, look, we'll deliver every piece of mail that meets our then current regulations.
Well, your regulations should not include a review or second guessing the state on who its electors are, correct?
I think that our proposed rule is, as you know, subject to litigation. We'll see how that all turns out.
Well, I guess we will see, but it will probably be in court. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Y'all hear that, bro? He wouldn't even give. He's like, look, bro.
Be in court. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
How that all turns out.
Well, correct?
I think that our
a review or second guessing the state on who its electors are, correct?
I think that our proposed rule is, as you know, subject to litigation. We'll see how that all turns out.
Well, I guess we will see, but it will probably be in court. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
That shit is crazy.
They don't comply.
That's crazy, bro. That is wild, man. Damn. Thank you for that piece, for that clip. Thank you for sending me that clip, Drip, and thank you for the 100 gifted memberships. Thank you for all the support y'all have given me tonight. This shit is crazy, though. Somebody said in the comments they think a judge already ruled against it. I believe that's what Blumenthal is saying. It'll probably be settled in court. We do have birthright citizenship coming up, so we'll probably be covering that over the next few days. Man, somebody has to come calm the storm. It's starting to be a shit show, man. It's starting to be a shit show. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I don't want to have to go into Discord and deal with no bullshit, bro. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I really don't. Crazy. But yeah, I'm gonna do some more research. Mods, drop the Discord link. We are trying to grow the Discord, even though some shit going on in there right now. Damn, I don't even really want to promote it because there's some shit going on. But mods, drop the Discord, join the Discord. We will be back on tomorrow night with more topics and more to cover. I appreciate everybody for rocking with me tonight. Thank you again, Drip. And thank you again for everybody that showed up, double tapped the screen, dropped some comments, gave their thoughts and opinions, and had a good time with us, man. I'll see y'all on the next one. Good night, chat.